get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the I'll Pitch You Off Shortly podcast. My name is Rob Benjamin, and of course, I have to the left of me, your right, as always, Joe Guire, the man with the amazing hair,
sir.
the bun.
Loving
he
it.
has it in the bun. I'm loving it. Feeling the hair energy today, Joe. How you doing today?
I'm feeling great. I'm glad to be here. Excited for the show. I'm really excited. This is gonna be a good show.
Heck yeah, hell yeah. I'm excited too. It's been a good week. A tiring weekend, I will say that. I guess I started with that, right? So it was my brother-in-law's 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Nikki. It was an amazing weekend. I took a step into the dark world this weekend. Sad to say, not necessarily like too sad to say, but sad to say, after 5.5 years of not drinking,
You did it.
I did it. I bust the seal and I acted like I was 21 again, Joe. And boy, I tell you, this 34-year-old body is not 21 again. The recovery is still happening. Like my body hurts. Everything is still like misconstrued. This was the worst Monday for work ever. Like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like drinking.
Me neither.
It
I hate
doesn't. You know what the problem with drinking is? Drinking is fun when you're doing it.
Exactly. It's super fun.
Literally in the moment. Although the dumbest things you've ever done
Happened.
have all happened in that scenario. But you never feel good afterwards.
No, not at all.
You never wake up after you drink your face off and you're like, oh man, why did I need that? That's never happened. You know what I mean? Like you could wake up from a nap or you could drink a nice chill glass of something, right? Oh yeah. You never wake up the next morning after drinking and you're like, oh, just what I needed. I mean, unless you're a raging alcoholic.
No, not even that, because I'll say the pro drinkers, when I was a pro drinker, there was no matter what, whether it was the Pia, whether it was the goody powder, whatever, no remedy made it too easy. It was always just like a drag. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I finally got to the point where I was able to function. But even at that point, I was like, I should not be able to function after like drinking. Like, it got to the point, Joe, it would be like, I would go to a certain like venue, probably Wednesday. Let's say like Tuesday through Sunday. And I would go at night. I would literally go back to work, leaving there. And I'm just like, that's not good. It was not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And then even like just that, the body, like I was on the toilet all yesterday. Let's keep it real, right? Like my body could not take that, like alcohol. Like just everything feels slow.
Yeah, but when did it?
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like even when you're young, it's the same thing.
It was more tolerable, I guess.
Well, no,
I didn't have a lot of things to get into.
You've convinced yourself that it's more, but it never was. It was awful then. It's awful now. Like
True.
here's the problem. Other than like wine, there's no benefit to drinking alcohol at all.
Other than getting laid when you were younger.
That's about it.
Consensually, everybody. Consensually. But yeah,
that's very woke of you to say.
And even now, you would think in a consensual relationship, perfectly good, or not, in a good relationship right
That's hilarious.
now. We both were having a great time. Both were intoxicated. We both didn't even feel like doing shit.
Did you see?
Sketchy, what's up, brother? Hey, Rob and Joe. Rob, stick to the devil's lettuce. Alcohol is one of the worst things you can put in your body. So true, Sketchy. You're literally poisoning your body when you drink. When you drink, you have to sip. I can't argue. I totally agree with you, Sketchy. I'm sticking to the lettuce because like drinking isn't for me anymore. And that's why I literally quit. Technically speaking, drunkenness is an allergic reaction. I agree.
Yeah, it's your
I mean,
body, your
saying,
body
no, this is
trying to
not good for you.
repel that and get that out of your
Yeah.
system as quick as possible. And sometimes it comes right up, which is great.
And that's the other thing. I hate throwing up.
So
like
there you go.
I never wanted to always, well, I never always wanted to drink. I know it sounds weird, never always. I never wanted to drink to the point where I was just belligerent. But like just those days where you will wake up and you're like, I have to throw up just to like clean myself. I hate throwing up. So like that was one of the things I hated the most when like drinking excessively. You know, and that's why I don't drink now. So like I pride myself for not drinking for 5.5 years. I'm never drinking again. The good thing for me is like that brother, like he was the only, not to say the only person, but like that's the only birthday or like I guess not steeple, but like staple birthday left. Like my younger brother, I can smoke him out crazy when he hits 30. My baby sister, we're not gonna be doing anything crazy like that, but I can smoke with her out outside of drinking. So I have no more obligations drinking. That's what I should say. No more obligations drinking. I never want to drink again. I might have a glass of wine or two.
Yeah.
In the later future.
All right.
But yeah, I'm good.
Let me lay this out for you. A couple things, a couple thoughts I have. This is great stuff. Number one, I remember the first time I was in college and I drank and I puked. And I remember not only was I puking, I mean, it was coming out of both ends. Bad news. Just, it was a bad night. And then the next morning when the cleaning lady went into the bathroom, I said to her, whoever did this is a sick bastard. I'm going to find out who it was and I'm going to kick their ass. That's what I told her. Her name was Kay.
Damn, did you ever tell Kay the truth?
No, I lied right to that woman's face as she
Kay.
was cleaning my vomit off. It was, I mean, you would have thought 4 people puked in the same circle. That's how much vomit there was. We did 4 in beer night, but then ordered Domino's. You can't cross over that fine American cuisine. Now, you made up a really good point. I don't like throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
I puked 2 more times drinking after that over like the next couple of years because I generally drink to excess. Like Sketchy said, I'm a sipper.
Yep.
Right? You know, you might see me drink a White Claw. It might get a little buzz on or whatever, but I don't think since my 20s have I been drunk to like pass out, puke, except a few years ago, my brother-in-law, so my wife's sister's husband, who's a wonderful fella.
Yep.
I kind of hate him, kind of love him. You know what I mean? He's that guy. And we've gotten a lot closer. We've gotten a lot closer since then.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel the same way. Kind of love him, kind of hate him. I decided he was having a housewarming party at a house that I sold him. Very nice house, by the way. Congratulations. My sister-in-law, my brother-in-law in that beautiful house. Now, I decided with all his friends there, he was drinking. I brought a bottle of, I forget what, some sort of something, but I'm like, let's do shots.
Mm-hmm.
And my plan was, dude, he's tall, but he's skinny.
He should be able to.
He's like 6'3", $110. You know what I mean? He looks like a deer. Just a big, skinny deer. And I thought, how long will this dude last before he vomits all over the floor? This kid matched me shot for like 4 hours.
Oh, there's those always dudes. Jared, to answer your question, there's people that I don't know if they like throwing up, but they would literally.
I think there are people who are okay with throwing up.
I was gonna say
they're bulimics. I don't know how those ladies do it.
I don't know.
I mean, clearly my body's not that important to me, or I would do it too. I can't imagine
But
ever sticking my
I
finger
don't.
in my mouth
I don't think
purposely.
they like it. I wouldn't say they like it. I feel like they feel it's
But I
necessary.
think
I
you
would
get
say
to
for
a
the
point
people.
where it's tolerable because I hate vomiting so much
Mhm,
that I don't ever drink to excess
got you.
because I know I'll puke and it'll be the worst thing that happens because I'm one of those idiots. I don't know how to vomit properly.
So you're just everywhere with it.
When it's bad, and there's my wife calls it a scream. I guess I do like a scream as
Oh.
I'm going. But here's the other thing. I look like a raccoon the next day because all of the blood vessels all up and around here burst.
Gotcha.
I've at times had blood vessels in my eyeball. It looks like somebody jabbed me in the eyeball with a pen.
Jeez.
Right. It's
Yeah,
it's happened like 4 times in my life. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. No.
I vomited twice from having the flu, and I've vomited like 5 or 6 times drinking. That's it.
I'm speaking specifically to the people that like drink excessively. If I cared more about my body, I'd have an eating disorder, Joe. That's hilarious.
It's
But
true.
what I'm saying though is I'm speaking more to the people that like love to drink and they would literally just like, yeah, I threw up. I'm gonna keep drinking. Like all I gotta do is
Yes.
throw up. I can't. I
Oh,
hate that.
I've hung out with those people.
So yeah,
Those that thing when I hate throwing up more than I like drinking.
facts. And that's one of the That's why I won't drink. Well, not one of the reasons, but because I'm very and we'll end it off this kind of. But like so, this is also my first time my spouse, my significant other, was around me drinking and drunk period or drinking period, and then let alone drunk, right? So the most annoying part of that was her being like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" Checking on me constantly, like I don't know what to do when I'm drinking. I think my family got her so just worked up because of like how I am when I'm drunk. I'm already like a straightforward guy. If I don't like you, I let it be known. I'm very vocal, very present. So like when I'm drunk, it's just that times 1,000. So like if we're at a function, especially at a family function, and I don't know you or like you're new to and you're like being disrespectful or whatever, I'm more likely to check you intoxicated. Not to say more likely to check you because I'm gonna check you drunk or not drunk, but the way I check you
is gonna be a little harder.
is gonna be a lot different from the way I check you when I'm sober, and it's gonna be unapologetic. So, but yeah, so
One last thought, by the way.
of
The
course.
night my brother-in-law and I went shot for shot, the wife and I were driving home. They live like 35 minutes. And I got about a mile away from my house. And I was like, hey, pull over real quick. All over the place. And that's when I revealed to my wife, I'm like, I was trying to get James to puke.
He got you.
And he got
Fucked
me.
up.
But the good news was back in Cheshire, he was face
doing
down
the
on the
same thing.
toilet.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Yeah, it worked.
Who's holding your hair now when you throw up?
It's a good question. Somebody certainly needs to.
Oh man. So what else? Like, what happened? Anything interesting with your week? Your week update?
My week was no, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything.
No.
You
Funny story. I told you this, so I'll spare the details just to share. But we took trees down in the yard,
and it looks great.
Looks amazing. I'm glad. It was very expensive, but
Mhm.
it was worth it. It was worth it. And they gave me some of the wood, which will be nice. My wife was like, "Hey, why don't you leave a couple of giant chunks, some of these trees, and Joe will chop them down."
It's like a good job for the interns.
I said to my wife, "And where would I have time? When's this gonna happen?
It's not
Like
about
6 hours
when.
of me just chopping wood all
About
day."
who has the time? And I know who has the time. We're just talking about this. We're just telling the interns how they need to get integrated into 8-hour work days.
Wouldn't it be nice to cut some wood?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Choppity chop.
Don't you love how I'm volunteering people's time?
I like how I looked right at Jacob and I was like, "What do you think about cutting some wood?" And this is what he did. He just looked away.
Just
That's not gonna work, buddy. We're not done talking about it.
Do you got interns? Do y'all know how to use an axe? Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just asking because I've had soldiers that have been like, yeah, I know how to use an axe.
I bet you he can use an axe. You don't know how. Yeah.
Okay, that's
See,
perfect.
he's fessing right
So
up.
yeah, okay. I can believe that. I can
You can
believe
tell
that.
who the axe guys are.
But you know what though? I guarantee you, if you were to like teach him like like a legit way, because I'm sure he has some flaws, he would probably outdo it just because he's a new learner. But that's just with anything. That's just with anything. Like even in the military, right? So like if you go from like being a military police officer to a civilian police officers would rather take somebody that did like intelligence or like was a cook because they can mold them and teach them the right way versus trying to fucking convert a military police mindset to a civilian police mindset. That's all. No disrespect. It was just,
But then we pulled the Husqvarna chainsaws and we just get done quicker.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
See,
a
little
chainsaw man.
chainsaw.
I like
all
that.
right.
All
What
right.
happens when all the gas is gone and we're in the apocalypse? Oh,
Ryobi.
see. They got to answer for everything.
These
don't
kids
they?
today.
These
I tell
kids
ya.
today. Well, so 2 highs, 2 lows. 1 high for me, 2 high lows, 1 for me, 1 for you. 1 high this week was I don't fucking know. I had one earlier. Well, I'll start with my low. My low was getting snubbed for a vehicle this week, and that goes into my still pissed off. But then my high this week would be my brother-in-law's birthday party. Sounds like your high was your trees getting cut.
My high was the trees getting cut. My low was the day after when it rained 5 inches and there was no trees to stop all the water.
Oh
It flooded my backyard, and there was definitely a little water down here in the studio. So,
Ooh.
oh yeah, not too bad, but yeah. So
Low.
highs and lows all in one. It was pretty terrible, but awesome,
All right.
but terrible.
Got you.
Yeah.
So is it still pissing you off though? Well, the water's gone, so it shouldn't be pissing you off.
No, so I'll tell you what's pissing me off. A pool.
Okay.
I have a pool.
Clear.
It's clear, finally. So here's the thing, right? I used to have a guy, a pool guy, and this dude was, you know who you are, the sketchiest person who ever lived. This guy was legit, like dirty sketch.
Okay.
Everything he did was
full
like
janky.
Oh yeah. Like this guy couldn't tell the truth, like on anything. Like that just wasn't his forte. So I have a sand filter, best kind of filter you can have. Your water should look like the Caribbean, be crystal clear. My water is always blue, but not like opaque blue, not like you could see all the way to the bottom.
Got you.
So for years, my wife's been complaining about it. I call pool guys, trying to get a legit pool guy to come out here. But I don't know. They're apparently too busy during the season when I give a shit about it. They want to do it in the off season when the thing's taken apart. You take all the piping apart. I don't want someone to come fix it now. It's not together, idiots. It's free now. The guys are too busy.
They're too busy. Like you would think with a 30 to 45, maybe hour job, 30 to hour job, before you go home, let me go make a quick couple $100.
Yeah. Dude, the guy could have charged me anything. I would have paid it.
I was about to say, at this point, especially with everything going on, everybody's getting pools or whatever the case may be. I would be like, shit, hell yeah. Hey, I can come, but it's going to cost you $100 an hour. If somebody says
pay that,
either they say yes or they say no. If they say yes, guess what? You won. If they say no, then oh well, you go about your day.
I talked to this one douchebag pool guy who basically was like, well, it's not really my problem. Like, oh, well,
must
fuck
be nice.
off. It will never be your problem. He told me to call him in the fall. I'm like, it's not working now, and it's July, you dumbass. How is that helping me? Anyway, I went on YouTube. My wife kept going, you know what we need to do? We need to test the pool water. I'm like, I can tell you what's wrong with it. The filter's not working properly.
Duh.
That's it. You don't need a water test to tell you that. I need to fix the friggin' filter.
YouTube.com.
I went on YouTube. I did. I watched the video.
Yo, YouTube.
Figured it out.
You know what? I take back. Well, you know what? I don't take back what I said previously, a couple episodes or a few episodes back about like when I went to college and how they were just showing YouTube videos. I think it's bullshit that like students have to pay that much, but YouTube is a very valuable resource, right? Let's hear what the comments say.
Vonnis, I'll come figure it out for $100 an hour.
See, there we go. That's a hustler. Obviously, see more than once.
Yeah. So I figured out backwashing and how to do it properly so that you clear the filter out. Because what would happen was I would backwash and I'm not doing it right and long enough, and then you got to rinse before you turn on the filter. I didn't know any of that shit. Because all the hack job, Johnny, he didn't do that stuff. He was all hacking it up.
Yep.
Anyway, I watched the video. I figured it out. The pool's crystal clear.
Facts. I've seen it.
It's crystal clear. It looks unbelievable. My wife is like, who's been breaking my balls for 4 years and has been insisting on a water test. I'm like, look at it now. And she's like, yeah, it's what it's supposed to look like.
Congratulations, Joe. I can't wait to actually jump in that pool soon. I learned that marrying a pool dude. Oh yeah. She has the pool dude as a husband. My brother-in-law's a pool dude, and they don't have a pool. I'm waiting for them. I know that their next house they're gonna have a dope ass pool, so I can't wait.
Rob,
I can't wait.
Rob, I have to ask the question.
No. When I say pool dude,
I have to ask the question.
Not pool dude, like he's a swimming guy. Like
all right.
he
knows
runs
about pools.
Yeah, he knows about
pools.
He knows about
an
pools.
actual pool
now,
guy.
Now, my other brother-in-law, my significant other's sister's boyfriend, right? Also, Joe has a pool, has invited me over. So I almost invited Joe. I almost invited you over Saturday.
As you should have.
Because
I ended up doing the same thing you did. Get drunk and falling asleep early.
In my drunken state, I just lost my like I was this is gonna sound awkward, right? I'm releasing the valve. Yeah, I see it. I'm releasing the valve. And I'm like, damn, I wonder what Joe's doing, because this would be awesome. Like, this would probably elevate this whole party being there. Like,
yeah,
just you being there and us telling stories and it turning into
awesome.
But I walked out the bathroom, got sidetracked, and that thought totally lost my mind. Drunken state. I'm sorry, but I promise you, before it's probably gonna happen at my birthday, but before the summer ends up, we're all gonna get together and have that night that I.
Well, now it looks like I have to have.
It has to be here.
We're gonna have to do it
here. I'll piss you off shortly. Cookout hosted.
Devonna, I didn't know that you swam, but not because I was making any sort of assumptions. Honestly, I've mentioned the pool before. I don't know. I thought, if you
if you wanted to invite, you just write us up. Write us up in the email in the comments. Joe, why haven't I been invited?
Oh, actually, I was just gonna say that's not true. I actually had black people in the pool.
Oh, woo,
that's happened
accomplishment.
Before. Well, no, because
I've got black friends.
Now people are asking. People are literally asking. It's literally in the comments.
Devonna, you cannot bring the black people. I am pretty much their quota on this street. Like, I think I finally got it to the point where the neighborhood is comfortable seeing the one big black dude pull up to your house and leave at awkward times at night. Now, if a group of us leave past dark, I can't promise that somebody's not going to get pulled over. I'm just not.
That has never happened in this neighborhood. Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I'm still sketchy leaving your street, but who knows? see?
I do want to have like a CMG barbecue and have some of the peeps come over.
I'm telling you, we might have to.
I'd like to do that. But Devonna, you're definitely welcome to come over. You and Pool Dude.
Yeah,
all right. Teach me how to dive.
She said we'll code switch until we get to the driveway. Oh man. I'm glad we got the comments back up. That was one of the things I missed in season 1. From season 1. Now back in season 2, we got the comments. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, so since we're here and we're engaging, we're gonna go to What the Fuck Society, WTF Society, which is if you don't know, if you're new to I'll piss you off shortly. This is our trending topics, kind of things that kind of hit the week, and we're just kind of had this thinking like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So we'll start with Haiti's president being assassinated. And as well, I guess we can classify his wife, unfortunately. I will respectfully say rest in peace. I don't know too much about his political movement and structure in Haiti. Not too educated, well versed on Haiti's government structure, but apparently there was kind of some
Yeah.
things going on in between. Some people like them, some people hate them, which I would assume for any country. But it's tragic to see this kind of thing happen, especially when you think security wise. If people are able to gather up militias and things like this and assassinate the president, that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely scary in a sense of like you don't know what's gonna happen now, especially with the government. Like it seems like their whole government is kind of in an uproar.
Falling to shit. Yeah.
You have locals. I don't want to say locals, but you have Haitians, right? You have citizens now grabbing their passports, screaming Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, and they're all kind of starting to start um seek asylum, wanting to seek asylum in the United States. So this is going to be interesting to see one how their government structure kind of rebounds and what happens with that. When you have the president and the first lady assassinated, because at first it was a report that the wife had survived, but then I guess she had died like a day and a half later or half a day later.
Yeah, they got shot a lot.
Yeah,
It's hard to.
yeah, and so it was. I knew it wasn't true when they were like, oh, the American DEA and somebody else. What it apparently has been like some pastor slash some crooked bankrupt dude. I don't know that built this kind of whole plan against them. That's been trying to actually get the president out since like 2011, if not prior. But yeah, it is fucking crazy.
It's amazing what you can do if you consider yourself a patriot.
Mm,
I guess there's no things off limits if you're a patriot doing patriotic things for your country. It's deemed by you.
mm.
That's the interesting part of that.
That's what.
It's like, well, that's what I think it is. That's because I only have a very focused opinion on things, and it's my way, and I'll kill somebody if I have to keep it that way. That doesn't make you a patriot. That makes you a murderer.
Yeah.
And it's scary to think because I haven't read anything on it today, but the last thing I read about it was they were saying none of his security forces were killed.
3 levels of security, no guards hurt, injured, wounded, killed, nothing.
Yeah.
So, and I saw the first clip of the video. I didn't watch like the full thing, but when they arrive, you hear, and it's not even you can tell American tactical DEA, American tactics versus some foreigner yelling out commands. So they first get out the vehicles or whatever, and they're DEA. Da, da, da. I'm like, this doesn't even sound American. So at that point, you would think as a security element, you would think the presidential security, right? That they would be at least more trained and well versed, or even communication wise. Like, why the fuck would the DEA be coming into Haiti? I don't. I'm not
And
well
to the
versed on.
president's house. What do they just like drop off?
But it was supposed to be American DEA,
Right.
so it's just like you're in the hate for the Haitian press. I don't know, super weird. So yeah, definitely, I would assume, and it seems to me that it's definitely some inside involvement
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how this come out. And it was like Haitians and Colombians or whatever, like Haitians and whatever. No, which you can't. Maybe Colombians. I can't remember. I don't want to say the wrong. South Americans. Well, yeah, Colombians. There we go. Let's hear. Haitian authorities last week arrested 2 Haitian American men, Joseph Vincent, 55, and James Salages, 35, and charged them with joining 26 Colombians in the fatal attack of Haitian President Jovenel Moise. Excuse me if I did not pronounce that correctly.
Wait, why Colombians?
That's what I'm. So apparently they were hired through a not Venezuela. Yeah, maybe a Venezuelan security.
Yeah, the Venezuelans are sketch.
A Venezuelan security team that was like based out of Miami or Key or something like that. They hired them to take on the hit. Because you can't get on American. Well, I'm not saying you can't get Americans, but who's really doing that? Like that obviously it was the sloppiest successful assassination possible, because they captured all the like you're Colombian in Haiti. It's not too hard to find you. I would think. I don't know.
I
I could be
wouldn't s-
wrong.
I won't say that.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
But it would be kind of like
they did get
sticking
arrested
out
super
a South
fast, though.
South Dakotian and I don't know, El Salvador
Yeah,
or
fair enough.
Dominican
No, I
Republic.
feel
I
what
don't
you're
know.
saying.
So
I'm with you.
so that definitely had me saying WTF, what the fuck. And it's gonna be interesting from what I hear. Good old Sleepy Joe is might be interested in sending some US troops um over to Haiti if they can't get their act together. Next thing, what the fuck society? Richard Branson goes to space along with like other billionaires trying to, just spend their money, which is super dope. At first, I was like, oh, look at these billionaires spending their money and doing dope shit. But now, as like Richard Branson went, it had me thinking like this is actually the start of like the Jetsons. Like seriously, right? So it starts with these billionaires sending their private money out, and you get this hour-long trip. So right, so we have Benson going. Well, he went successful, right? Did an hour trip. You have Bezos going in like 7 days now, a week
And
from
he's
now.
actually going to space.
And he's actually going to space,
not near space, like the rip off you're getting from
the
Richard
53
Branson.
miles outside of the
You're almost in space, loser.
But this is that start, right? So now you think 20 years from now, is it gonna be like a bunch of space stations just out? You know what I mean? Like I don't foresee us being in Mars 20 years from now, but I do foresee like these rich millionaires now saying, hey, you can rent your instead of airspace, now we're like looking at space, right? So like equitable space, right? So how do you now start to divvy this out? Because now if you look at Elon Musk, Branson, all these guys really could start putting up little space stations and saying you can live out here for however 6 months out the year. And
I'm sure they would love to start sending people to outer space. Like, hey, why don't you?
It's coming.
You go live out there.
You don't think it's coming? So people
they don't want to live out there.
What is it like? 600 people have already paid $250,000 to go with Branson just for our trip.
Sure, people are stupid. Yeah,
you don't think
no
these
doubt about it.
Multi-millionaires are going to be like, yeah, definitely. You built me a big ass space station up there, and I can go out there for a while.
How much does
it's happening?
Here's all right. I'm curious to find out how much the International Space Station cost.
Let's see here. That goes. Oh, I'm sorry, Sketch. I missed that. He said it. Professor Planter said it. Oh yeah, the professor guy. But yeah, so my idea with Branson, well, any of these, right? To get a space station, 150 billion.
$150 billion to build the International Space Station. So you imagine how much they're going to charge for Subway sandwiches. You know what I mean? That's going to be a pricey sang.
No, so now maybe as an individual, right? So Virgin and SpaceX, all those individually, that's expensive. But now you put Blue Point, SpaceX, and all of them, you put them in collectively, you start off a space station that maybe has 50 slots, 50 individual little housing units, and you started off at whatever investment shares. That's gonna grow, and then just off of that alone, you're gonna start seeing maybe 5. Then from 5, there's 25 more because everybody's going to start wanting them. So, of course, with anything, right, the price is going to go up. So now you're like, oh, $250,000 to go for an hour in space with Branson is going to probably go up to a couple million. And then the price is going to come back down and kind of level back out. Just like when airplanes first came out, it cost expensive as hell to go in the air. And everybody was like, whoa. And now look, you can go to fucking Puerto Rico for $99. If you don't bring any bags, and if you weigh under 200 pounds and all these other stipulations, you don't eat, you don't use the bathroom, and all these other things they charge you for. But you can get to Puerto Rico for $99.
How long is it going to take before people go to space and start complaining about it? You know what I mean?
This is our land.
Like, is there any rooms with gravity? Yeah. Because I've just been kind of
my Wi-Fi.
Floating. Yeah, my Wi-Fi sucks.
Can I get the basketball court? Something that every time I shoot the ball
right now, it's not going through.
But even then, I was kind of like, I was assuming that like Branson, like whenever he was he live streaming? He was like live streaming on Twitter or something. He was able to post from out of space. At that point, I was kind of like, who has signal up there? And who's paying for that? But then I
Well,
said
that's.
Richard Branson is.
I've always thought they lied about that bullshit. You ever notice that on planes now? Like it works,
Yeah.
right? It works, and then but then they're like, well, no, it doesn't work anymore now, and you're like,
What? I can
Which
have
is why,
Wi-Fi.
because you know on 9/11, people supposedly use their
Yeah.
cell phone and write the conspiracy theories like, doesn't work. And it's like, yes,
It does work. It
Obviously, they just don't want you to do it.
because it's supposed to interfere. I'm not a pilot, but they say it's supposed to interfere with the signal. Now, I've been on a couple flights where I've forgotten to turn my airplane mode on, and I noticed, like when I landed, to turn it, back on, and I never turned it off. I was like, oh well, we got here safely. I didn't get a phone call. We didn't go like crashing. I did get a couple text messages, but my phone was on silent. So, if I figure, I'm not saying America, or not even just America, people in general. I'm not saying turn on your cell phones, but I would like a better explanation. I don't know. Did we get one in the comments? I don't know. You look at me like
No, yeah, I'm saying.
Oh, geez. What did Jared say? What do you call it when you flash your butt at someone on the moon? Oh God, Jared, what do you call it? Moonshine squared. JT, what's up, brother? We should try to say.
I hate Richard Branson. I think the whole thing is really stupid.
Okay.
Bernie Sanders tweeted out and was like, there's people starving all over the planet while this douche nozzle wants to fly to like the edge of outer space. Dude, I mean, here's the thing about Richard Branson, right? And people are like, he's such like an explorer, he's an adventurer. It's like, dude, that guy's such a miserable fucking asshole.
You think?
Nobody loves Richard Branson. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody loves him, and he knows it. And he's so fucking desperate for some sort of happiness that he's flying outer space. That's what I think.
I mean,
that's how I see it.
Damn. I just figured he was just rich. He might be miserable. He might he might, I don't know, but I feel like when you have that kind of money, you just like run out of shit to do.
Yes.
So you just
but if you're happy and you have loved ones, you can enjoy the shit you already have. But you could just sit on your yacht and like jet ski all year.
But he's done all that. You remember in like especially the early 2000s when like the Virgin Mobile store in Times Square opened up, and then Virgin Mobile, and you saw him on the yachts. He was doing all this in every country that you could never
but I'm
think
saying
of,
if somebody loves you, you would enjoy your time. You'd just be chilling on the yacht.
That was
what else did you need?
He's about to take his family to around space. Not outer space, but around space.
He's not taking his family. He's taking strangers because nobody loves him.
Well, no, because he needs
he's
the
miserable.
Money. He needs the money.
He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the money at all.
No, he
just wants to be around people, and he wants them to tell him how fucking awesome he is.
So he's the great
Richard Branson, you're so awesome. And he's like, yeah.
Are you
because no one else thinks it, and he knows it.
Are you equating Richard Branson to the Great Gatsby?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. There we have it. All right. Next thing. Oh, what I missed.
Jared's, by the way, in the comment section, Jared's quotes from the show are hilarious. We may have to assemble them later on. Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's hilarious. Excuse me. Have you seen about since we're talking about space and just like matter of fact, this goes well, right? So Richard Branson and all these guys are spending millions and billions of dollars to go out of space, and meanwhile the whole West Coast
is on fire.
Is on fire.
You want to be a fucking hero and have people like you, Branson? Get a giant fucking bucket and just dump water all over California. Just fucking do that, douchebag.
I'm starting to think that like with the trend of everything now east turning green, and when I say green, like legalization of cannabis, we're lucky because we would be effed if like the East Coast wasn't legalized and we were still relying on California. Everything's burnt up. Everything's burnt to a crisp. And now, like when I think about it, of course, like this government, I always believe like global warming was a real thing, I was never like a woohoo advocate for it. Well, not to say like advocate, but I wasn't like strong, like heavy for it. But now I'm like, yeah, I don't know. 15, 20 years from now, we might be looking like the movie with Denzel, where he was blind. And they had damn, what movie was that?
What's that movie?
Help me out, comments. He was blind. He had the girls about the Bible. They were all looking for the Bible, which I saw the perfect post about the Bible. There's a girl.
I think you shared that with
Yeah,
me.
I shared.
Yeah,
I
you
shared.
did. I
It. But
appreciate
anyways,
that.
what the hell is the name of this movie? Somebody's gonna have to hit me up in the comments. But anyways, it's gonna end up being like that, like or apocalyptic coming sometime soon. I say we should get Branson to jump Joe's pool water in California. 2 birds, 1 stone. That's
Not bad.
hilarious.
Not bad at all.
But no, but realistically, like so every year, I think every year these fires out west have been just getting worse and worse and worse.
I
and
thought
spreading.
Donald Trump figured this out when he told them they needed to sweep the forest floor.
Mop
Did
it
we
all
not
up.
do that? Is
He-
that what
he-
happened? No, apparently, no one listened to Trump, and the shit's on fire again.
Maybe we should have put the wall. The wall definitely could have stopped the fire.
You could definitely get a wall out there.
Imagine
A wall would be good out there,
if you would have put a wall, it would have just contained all the fire, and then look at that. So,
unless you made the wall out of wood.
which Donald Trump probably would have,
Yeah.
to save money.
Then
and
the
put
wall
the
would
rest in
burn
his,
down,
like,
and then
people's pockets.
Who
knows?
you're just making it worse.
Hearts and
a
hearts
bigger
and
fire
minds,
now.
condolences to everybody out west, which is kind of hindering my plans because for my birthday this year, I kind of wanted to go to like Portland and Washington, just like to see the beautiful scenery. I always wanted to go out that way, but now everything's burnt up. I don't know if it's going to be the same. Which, if it keeps burning up every year, 10 years from now, it's desert land. Might be some new property out there.
California, I predict, is eventually going to snap off into the ocean.
I say the same thing about Florida.
I'm praying for that.
Like Miami's almost there. Like you know what I want? I want Key West to stay the same. Like nothing happened in Key West, but like the whole panhandle just all the way up to like Orlando. Like Orlando be like the new butt of
What
Florida.
if that big bridge just and so they're stuck out in the Keys?
That's hilarious.
Like if you want to come in, take a fucking boat.
Imagine
You know what I
if
mean?
the bridge
We'll
was
think
like,
about it.
it was like Keys, water, a little bit of the bridge,
Yeah.
and then water, and then
Yeah.
nothing
Just
but
enough.
bridge.
Yeah.
Just enough.
That's where the bridge was. You want to come back over jet ski? We'll
That's hilarious.
talk about letting you in or not.
Shit, jet skis. There, I saw a couple. And this again, I kind of sidetracked, but I saw a couple years ago. They went from Connecticut to Florida on jet skis. So they went Connecticut, went through like the Hudson and all that shit, and literally
Nice.
boarded the whole eastern borderline. I would love to do that one day. It looked like a pretty dope trip.
First time I ever went on a jet ski, I was 15 years old, and me and this girl went jet skiing. Our family just bought some jet skis, and we went like miles down the water, and didn't know this, but when you buy a jet ski, they don't put any gas in it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so everybody was waiting for us to come back, and like an hour goes by, and they're like, "Well, they're dead."
Did y'all find like drift in or something?
No, we ended up literally walking them back, like in shallow water, because
That's hilarious.
they were so worried about us after an hour that they went to the beach.
Oh, just no recovery,
Yeah.
no nothing. Just they'd be
Yeah,
all right.
they'll wash up.
Damn.
They'll wash ashore eventually.
So much I
They
love
just
you.
left. They left us there.
That's crazy.
It's nice.
Good friends. Friends. How many of us have them? That's hilarious. You know what's even more hilarious than that though? Conor McGregor's fucking fight career.
Yeah.
It's over for him. You know that, right?
Oh,
Like,
I know that.
Not even like
I,
physically. Like
I actually thought it was over before, but
he can't book a fight no more. Like who's paying him to lose? When was the last time he won a fight?
well, he won one fight in the last 5 years, and it was against the aging Donald Cerrone, and it was mostly because he threw shoulder shrugs and he hit Cowboy in the face twice. That was about it.
So he really didn't even.
Yeah, it was pathetic. And
Okay.
Cowboy had lost like 7 in a row.
Oh,
It was 2 beat up guys. I was like, well, one of these losers is gonna
somebody
win
has to
tonight,
win
unless they draw. Yeah, no, I knew Conor was gonna get his ass handed to him, and he did. To me, the only people who think Conor McGregor is good at fighting are people who don't really follow the sport. You know, it's like think about Mike Tyson in like 2006. You're like, Mike Tyson's the best, and like Mike Tyson get knocked out by like some pudgy white guy.
I don't
Stop.
know.
He's not
maybe
good
not
anymore.
maybe Roy Jones or I don't know, or Lennox Lewis. Not Mike Tyson.
Mike
We've seen
Tyson's
Mike Tyson.
last fight
was not too long ago. He won.
No.
It was
His
an
real
exhibition
real last fight
Mhm.
at the end of his career.
He lost, right?
Somebody tell me the dude's name. Was a pudgy white guy. Not only did he lose, he didn't come out in the 8th round. Like he quit. He quit on his stool to a no-name pudgy white guy who they basically were like, "Go kick his ass, Mike. Like, let's get you going again." And he took such a beating. It was like, you're done. And that's how his career ended. Nobody wants to see that for a chance. You don't want to see your guy go out. Like I told you, I'm a big Roy Jones Jr. fan. And he was undefeated. He lost like his last 4 fights. Bernard Hopkins got knocked out of the fucking ring in his last fight. Like, you want to know you're done? Knocked out of the ring 15 feet onto his head.
I remember that.
That was awful.
I love
Bernard Hopkins.
I remember seeing those highlights. I remember. Yeah.
By the way, Bernard Hopkins said the greatest fighter of this generation is Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, you heard it from Joe. I'll co-sign it because it's Joe, but I guess.
Anyway, the best thing happened to me Saturday night. I'm watching the prelims for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're just, all the bullshit. Like, Conor McGregor's been jogging like this. Like, stop it.
Whoa, he's been jogging.
ESPN.
Minus his little.
And Dana White, they love McGregor. But it's like fucking Hulk Hogan now. Like, dude, you're so done. Nobody wants to see you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not fighting. You can, like, be around.
But nobody wants to see him fight
anymore. He's not good at it. He
should almost be a commentator. Like, I feel like he would be a better commentator.
An amazing commentator. I'd totally watch that.
So yeah, like I would love to see him talk shit and be a commentator. Like that would be more intriguing than seeing him get in the ring again.
Yeah, well, Michael Bisping is one of the commentators, and he's a notorious shit talker. Was as a fighter. He literally does it during the fights. He usually does it. He does a lot of the fights with Dominic Reyes, and he breaks Dominic Reyes' balls the whole time.
Well, see, hey, Connor, might have a new job there, buddy.
Although Connor, it's hard to understand him a lot of the time.
I just gotta
get confused.
Just gotta understand the last parts of it.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll see. And during the prelim, I fell asleep.
Same.
And so I woke up in the morning, and I'm like, not buying that.
No.
I had already kind of seen what happened. I went on the old Twitter and kind of relived things. Yeah,
that was about same story for me. I got it was so I'm so mad. Well, not mad because I got to see part of it, but my sister had got one of the big projectors for outside, got the screen and everything, watching the fight outside. So we got to watch the prelims outside. I got to watch the prelims outside. Went inside. My sister and my other sister-in-law was just sitting there talking. I was like, let me just go be social. My sister has this amazing big-ass couch with a big-ass, what do you call ottoman?
You can already see where this is going.
So I said, let me sit down and be social for a minute. I'm good. I'm fucking drunk. Let me converse. Probably like 20 minutes later, I was out. And I felt bad because I woke up. And I know the rules. I know the rules of the couch. You can lay on it. You can have fun, but you're not supposed to sleep on it, right? Even if you sleep over, there's an air mattress. I was so drunk. I'm sorry, Vanna. Sorry, Nikki. But I felt blessed because they let me, they didn't bother me. I don't know if they tried to wake me up and it just wasn't happening, or they just said, you know what, we'll just let this rule go by for once. So thank you guys so much for being, so kind to let me sleep on that beautiful, comfy couch. But needless to say, I did not see the Conor McGregor fight. I passed out. I was asleep. I did wake up. I rolled over. I saw on Facebook that somebody was like, I can't wait to see the Conor McGregor meme. So I said, I know who lost. And then from there, I saw the little clip and served him right in my mind. I said, I'm glad I didn't pay for it. But hopefully we will never see him on.
The only bigger douchebag, bigger than Richard Branson, is Conor McGregor.
It's always foreign white guys, man.
Yeah.
With the horrible accent.
I'm telling you.
And for a British guy, fucking Branson has a horrible accent.
I don't care for either one of those people. You could. Here's the thing, like you could be a bragger. You could be like a hot shit. Like I like that. I'm all right with that. It's when you cross over from that to just total douchebag that I don't know. I can't like you. I can't get behind that. That's what it is. That's what
Yeah.
this boils down to.
I agree.
I don't like douchebags.
I agree. I love the fact that when he lost, the dude was taunting him and did his little walk.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the fact that Conor McGregor couldn't even stand up. And then the fact that Joe Rogan had to sit down next to him. And then he looked like an even bigger douche and an idiot trying to be like, oh, that's why your girl's in my DM. Like, bro,
Did you
you're
see
fucking
when she
stupid.
walked in the ring and flipped him off while he was sitting on his ass?
Nice.
And of course, the irony, for anybody who doesn't know, was Connor said that Dustin Poirier was going to leave there in a stretcher. What a fucking loser, dude.
Oh, God.
Could you have predicted that any worse? Like, what an idiot.
I'm pretty sure everybody. Well, I don't think anybody had him winning. But yeah, I'm sure that made it for a highlight for the people that actually watch live. Like, I'm pretty sure if I was watching, I would have been screaming and like, yeah, just for the simple fact that that happened to him.
And he got off to a good start in the first minute, which is about as good as he can fight in for as long as Connor can fight. We give you one good minute. If you don't knock you out in the first minute, you're not going to win.
Well, I got the balls to say I get in the ring with Conor McGregor.
I would fight him.
I'd fight him.
Just don't get hit with the left. If he doesn't hit you with his left, you'll be fine.
I'll see it. Perfect.
Can't do anything else. He's a loser.
Conor McGregor, I see you in the ring. Since you want to, if you ever want to get in the ring again, you know, seeing that nobody's really going to give you money, they might give you a low ticket for me, but I'll fight you.
By the way, Saturday at 10, Throwing Jabs, tune in because I'll have a lot more to say.
Oh, bang.
About Conor McGregor.
Hell yeah. Make sure you guys watch. Tune in.
Douchebag.
You know what else is douche? Well, I don't want to say douchebags, but U.S. men's basketball is not what it used to be. And they're douchebags because they lost. They're not supposed to lose. Like, I'm sorry. For all those that don't know, and I should be happy, and this is kind of like the conflict that I'm having. It really shouldn't be a conflict, but everybody's like, well, they lost to Nigeria. It's an African team, should be happy. I look at basketball as like, it's not a cultural thing to me. Like it's American pastime. So like, no matter what, I don't give a fuck who we play. We should be like leading this, right? Like it would be like if America won the Olympics in cricket. I was like, what? What are we doing winning Olympic medal at cricket, right? This is basketball. Why are we losing? And then I look at the team. You have KD. You have Tatum. You have Draymond. You have K. Did I say KD?
Yeah.
Portland. Dame. You got Dame.
Damn.
And you're losing. Not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Granted, it was like 87 to 93, but like still. Like, it should not be that close. Now it's dope because it was a Nigerian team. So it's kind of like, all right, cool. Black people still kind of run basketball. But outside of that, we're American. Like, USA.
There
like,
are
this is not
7 NBA players on Nigeria's roster. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But still.
Because a few years ago, we lost to, I forget, we lost to
Puerto Rico.
Was it Puerto Rico? Yeah. And
which was weird because
the only
Puerto
guy
Rico...
on the team was Carlos Arroyo. Like, they didn't have any other legit players. It was just like a bunch of Puerto Ricans showed up with Carlos Arroyo, and they kicked America's ass.
Which I didn't
That
understand.
was a rough one.
Because Puerto Rico's a territory.
Yeah.
Why aren't they on our team? Why was Puerto Rico their own separate entity?
Because they want to. They want to be.
Okay,
they don't have to be. I think. I'm pretty sure Puerto Ricans can play for Team USA. If they want to.
Okay,
I don't know that. I might be making that up.
I got to see who they have on here.
But listen, here's the thing about, can I just say this grander point to the whole thing?
Yep.
There's a couple of sports at the Olympics, basketball being one, and tennis being another one, where, like, no shit, Serena Williams is going to win the gold. What? What? Dude, can you imagine if you got into a sport and you're an amateur athlete and they're like, hey, you're going to go to the Olympics, and you're like, oh, fucking awesome. Who am I going against? And you're like, the greatest fucking person whoever did a professional who's been doing this for like 20 years and is the best ever at it. That's your opponent. I thought the Olympics were supposed to be, amateurs,
Yeah, no, because you say that. Okay, bet. No,
right? Am I wrong?
Well, okay, bet. So you look at it, and we kind of had this conversation at the party, right? We take Simone Biles, right? So the last Olympics proved herself to be the GOAT, right? And
Sure.
even now, just even more just drilling it in that she's the fucking GOAT. Now, before even the Olympics, she was having troubles during qualifiers and everything else like that because her experience level is so outstanding, right? So in gymnastics, please somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that when you do gymnastics, you have to submit your routine prior, right? And that's how they kind of give you your baseline score, right?
Yeah.
So
The artistic score.
The artistic score, right?
Yeah.
So when your artistic level is beyond a 10, right? So like your artistic level is beyond a 10. How do you get graded or evenly versus people that are like their artistic level is a high 9, right? So if Simone Biles is doing tricks that are like level 20 skill level and she might bomb it a little bit, she gets a 14 on an extended scale, of course, right? That still is better than somebody's best 10.
Right.
So of course they have to, so then it becomes very hard because they have to look at her and say, well, she might have really did this 10, but like she can do better. You know what I mean? Physically or personally wise, she can do better, but challenge wise, she did amazing. Like she did perfect. So at that point, you're just like, is it really her fault for being great and being able to do techniques and skills that nobody can do, that the Olympic Committee and these gymnastic committees don't want other gymnasts trying because they're probably going to kill themselves? Who's at fault? Is it her fault for being that great, or is it their fault for not being on the same level?
Simone Biles is not a professional because there is no professional gymnastics league. Like, right? I mean, if you're a figure skater, I mean, maybe you also, I don't know, are during the year you're touring with the Ice Capades. I can't imagine, right? It's not like there's a pro league for that. I'm saying, like, again, you're telling me we can't find like a dozen kids in college to play on the U.S. Olympic bat? Like, why? I don't even understand. Why are there professionals? Again, I'm just thinking if I'm some kid, right? I'm from like Lithuania and I'm a tennis player. I'm a woman in this scenario because you'll see in a minute. And I'm like, every day I'm in there and I'm playing I'm serving and I'm volleying and I'm doing all my hours and hours. And I go to Japan and I'm in the Olympics and I get all the way to the gold. And they're like, all right, now you're going to play Serena Williams. What?
I mean, but
that's insane.
You can't say that because, well,
that's insane.
Coco Gauff, Naomi Osaka, they came in low ranks, and then now Naomi Osaka is the next Serena. Hell, Coco Gauff is probably the next Venus. And I only say that because Coco Gauff is amazing, but she's still learning herself, where Naomi Osaka is, I would think, and just from seeing as a better technical player and skill player a little bit. You know what I mean? They're both up there, but Naomi Osaka has that little upper hand, just like Serena always had the upper hand on Venus. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I equate them. Not to say that it's impossible, but it's possible, right? You can be the amateur and you can be better. Like LeBron.
No, you're what?
LeBron
you're
came out.
You're gonna lose 6-0, 6-0. Serena Williams is gonna destroy you little Lithuanian villager.
No. Okay,
no chance. What a joke is what I'm saying. Can you just imagine, dude? You're Rob.
I'm not against you though. I'm not against you. I'm not against you.
They give you a shot to try out for the U.S. Olympic team. They're like, we're gonna take 12 guys. Right? And you get there and you're like, oh, great. You look around, there's like 10 dudes, and you're like, yeah, I think I'm all right. And then like fucking LeBron walks in. You're out. You have no chance to make the team now.
But what about
why are those people in the Olympics? I don't understand.
Okay.
Like, some sports, amateurs. Here, like, for instance, I just said, right, for people like Simone Biles, I think Usain Bolt's on steroids, but that's a show for another time. He's not there's no professional running, right? So he's a runner,
He's a
and
runner.
then the rest of the year he speaks in front of groups, I would guess. What else
He
does
trains.
Usain Bolt do? I know he trains.
trains.
Obviously he trains, but
He's a
like,
philanthropist.
what's his job? What does he do for a living?
Track star.
You're not though, because you're not
Why
supposed
not?
to win money. You can't get paid to be an Olympic athlete.
You can get paid in endorsements.
But you're not supposed to. That was the
Why
whole point
not?
of this thing. No, I'm all right with them getting paid because again, there's no professional league. And so, right, I mean, again, if you're Usain Bolt, what else can you do? Nothing, right? You're a track guy.
Devonna said it perfect. Exist.
But there's
until it's your time,
absolutely,
until you're
but
calling.
There's no professional league, so you're not a professional.
There's still qualifiers.
I understand that.
There's
I understand
people
there's
run
races,
all year
there's
round.
races. I understand that.
So that's their
get
job.
It. No,
that's like telling a
but it's
basketball
not really
player that's
their
not their job.
because there's not a professional running league.
There is though. There's qualifiers. There's nationals. There's
right. But they're all competitions to eventually get yourself into the Olympics. It all centers around being the best so that you can run and you can be in the Olympics.
You get endorsements, right?
That's fine. You can get endorsements.
So
but
you
again,
get paid for.
But it's like, dude, like KD needs to be on the Olympics.
No.
What?
That's just us being greedy as a country.
Right, that's what I'm saying. As if this guy, bad enough, he tried to like go steal a championship in Brooklyn and couldn't pull that shit off. And now he's like, oh, you know what? Let me go fuck these, like, again, these little Lithuanians. I don't know what's going on.
Honestly,
like,
though,
KD, holy shit.
To be honest, I don't really think that, and I could be wrong, I don't think that it's like the NBA. This is one of the worst arguments you two have ever had, probably since
I think this is a worthwhile argument to have.
I think so, too.
I don't want professionals in the Olympics. I think that's stupid. Like, again, the first time, oh, Serena Williams, this is awesome. She wins the gold, and you're like,
what's the point of the
Olympics?
Olympics?
Wait, is this going to keep happening every 4 years? Like, we're just going to send the best tennis player to kick everyone's ass at tennis? How is that fun? How is that fun for people? I don't even watch the Olympics anymore because the other thing is everybody's cheating. Everybody's full of shit.
Well, yeah, when you smoke weed, they consider you cheating, and then they
please, as if everyone's doing steroids. Everyone's doing some undetectable, untestable steroid. You know the Russians are always doing it. They got kicked out of the Olympics. You know that they a few years ago kicked them all out, all of them.
Oh man. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We aren't sending the B squad to the Olympics. We need the gold. No, I get we want to win the gold, but don't we want to feel like we sent some like upstart youngsters to go get it?
Okay, maybe it should have been like the rookie squad, but even our rookies could still beat them.
I don't know.
Well, should be able to. I don't know, but anyways, I really did not want to make that like.
Frank says, but other countries send their best. Not Mexico. They don't ever send their best. They send rapists and murderers. No, I'm just joking. I had
all the Trump fans say yeah.
I had to do it,
but
all right.
So talk about things that like don't mix well. I saw a funny video. We won't play the video, but it was interesting. So Jay-Z, everybody knows how much I love Jay-Z. And I watched this video probably a million times just because I love the swag about it. So he comes out of his hotel in New York. It looks like he's in New York. And just smooth as hell. A couple things that I noticed when he came out, right? It looks like he carries nothing on him. Like it looks like he doesn't carry a wallet, a cell phone, like nothing. Just I'm me, here's my clothes. Like that's the level I wish to achieve one day. Just like I'm so rich, I'm so important. I don't need to carry shit on me.
Yo, back up.
I am. Jay coming out smooth as ever. And you see people, everybody got albums with scope. The one thing I'm mad about Jay is bullshit ass fucking signature. It's just a fight. But here goes this lady pulls out a fucking baseball. And Jay looks at her like, what am I supposed to do? And so like the lady tries to try and really like push it, and you see Jay and you hear him go, I don't play baseball. So I'm just like, what the fuck was this lady doing? You have the black. It looked like she had the Black Album vinyl, the Blueprint. You have all these classic vinyls, and then you pull out a fucking baseball for Jay-Z to sign.
I
Like,
wouldn't
what
want
the?
I wouldn't want him to write on my album.
What?
Like, here, sign this baseball or whatever.
For what? What does that have? What kind of value or anything does that do? And he doesn't play baseball. Like you said, I don't play baseball. Why am I signing a baseball?
He always wears a Yankee hat. He's synonymous with baseball. He also is the reason Robinson Cano went and played for the Seattle Mariners.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay-Z, big Yankee fan, fucking loves New York. He represented Robinson Cano when he became a free agent from the New York Yankees, and he went and signed a contract in fucking Seattle. Thanks, Jay.
Well, you can't. Okay, that's Jay directly.
Oh,
it was a Rock Nation management.
I
You can't.
Jay-Z.
You can't blame Jay for that. That's like blaming Jay for LeBron moving. You can't blame them. You can't blame them for that just because LeBron's under Rock. Or
I've always held Jay-Z responsible for that.
Sounds bitter.
I don't know if I'll ever let it go.
Huh.
I love Jay-Z. He's my favorite rapper, but
when it comes to baseball,
that was bullshit, Jay.
Shit.
He knows it. He knows it.
Talking about baseball. So recently, I'm starting to come to grips with like really starting to like baseball and really growing an appreciation for like the pitcher hitter like duel. Like it is really I'm really starting to like really like that, right? So baseball has all kind of been kind of boring sport to me, but now that I've been going to a couple yard goal games with my son, and just watching a couple, I'm starting to get interested. Now, I'm saying this because I'm starting to feel like I need to reclaim a team. Well, not reclaim per se, because I did have a team. I was doing the local thing. Always growing up, I would just claim the Tigers just because. And then what's my guy with a pitcher? Come on, baseball dudes, fucking. He went to Houston. He pitches for Houston. I don't know if he's still
Verlander.
There we go.
Oh, from Detroit.
So there we go. So
yeah,
bet.
I'm sorry.
So that's what I'm saying. I used to be a Tigers fan because I was reaching for the home team. I was from Detroit. Tigers fan. And then Verlander came around. I was like, holy shit, I kind of like him as a pitcher, or whatever the case may be. And he was winning some shit. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with that. Of course, I haven't watched or claimed the Tigers in probably, I don't know, a little bit before Verlander left, right? So now I'm like rebirthing myself into baseball. I need to pick a team. So I'll piss you off shortly, family. If you have an idea of what team, or if you would like to pitch your team to me, why I should like your team, definitely please let me know. I'm all open, and I feel like I'm in the mega for like baseball. Like I feel like Connecticut is like a good mega hub for baseball because I can go so many different ways. Of course, you have the typical Yankees, Red Sox debacle. I can shimmy off to the Yankees. Shimmy off to the Mets. You know what I mean? If a couple Philly fans out there, a couple people said I should actually think about being a Pirates fan, because I was very hurt to see that my guy who was with the Pirates for so long, black dude, dreads. McCutcheon. He doesn't pay for the Pirates anymore. So then I was like, I don't want to be a Pirates fan now, even though I'm a Steelers fan, diehard. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know which baseball team I should go with.
He actually came to the Yankees for a little bit, and
I saw. Cut it.
Yeah,
they made him trim it.
Yeah,
damn.
Yankee
That's
rule.
why
I hate that. I hate
you
it.
hate what?
I hate it. I don't want to get into it.
No!
I don't want to get into it because I find it is it's the whole idea behind it is it's very racist in nature. I feel like, although it's like some of the most famous Yankee players have had issue with this rule about you can't have facial hair or longer hair.
So this is just with the Yankees.
It's a rule with the Yankees. It's stupid. David Price of the Red Sox, who wears a beard. Now he's with the Dodgers, but when he was a free agent, he was like, I won't play in New York. It's a stupid rule.
And then you got
Yankee fans were like, good, we don't want him. It's like, well, you do, idiots. I mean, that's a stupid rule. It's a stupid rule. And people are like, well, this goes back to the early truth. No, it doesn't.
There's not
back to 1976 when George Steinbrenner made it up.
Yeah. because he probably would just wanted a clean look.
Dude, he
and
had a whole
professional.
bunch of dude. Oscar Gamble had an afro that his hat, literally his helmet, set on
Oh,
top.
that
It
was
was
afro?
hilarious. Reggie Jackson had a goatee. Winfield had dude, all the Yankees. Thurman Munson had long hair, and I mean they all did. He had a beard at one point,
Mhm.
and George Steinbrenner wanted him to clean it up.
Oh,
But again, most of the time, that Don Mattingly is the only other recent Yankee to have any trouble. Is his hair was a little bit long, and he wanted to keep, and they were like, "No, can't do it." Otherwise, it's a stupid rule. It's a stupid rule, and you're basically telling anybody with dreadlocks or a beard, "Don't come to New York."
touche.
I
respect it.
I think it's
I
the
respect
stupidest
your
thing in
take.
the world. By the way, Sketchy Peasant wants you to become a San Francisco Giants fan.
I see that. No, that was Houston that was cheating. So yes, San Fran is definitely in the running then.
Yeah, the Giants try to get relevant for short stretches every 10 years or so. Is
That's
that
where,
right, Sketchy?
Barry Bonds was at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, brother man. Okay. Sketchy, you win some points with that one. All right, I'm always supporting that. But okay, so yeah, so I have Yankees, pretty much what's in my we'll say 5. Yankees, Red Sox, Tigers.
The Tigers
I
have
don't
to
know.
be out because that would be like going
No.
back to your ex.
But
You know what
yeah,
I mean? If you're looking to
No.
reclaim a team, I would
and that's just a loyalty thing because it's like maybe
they
you
also
just stick with it,
suck.
right? And they suck, and that might be a good thing, right? Like maybe joining a team when they suck, so that way, like when they're good in 4 years, I can sit there and say, "Well, I did join them when they were trash,
Yeah.
right?" Or rejoin them when they were trash. San Fran could be up there because I like their colors. I don't know. I'm kind of up there. I used to like the A's because it's the green and yellow, right?
When I was a
like
kid. Funny you say
I used
that.
to live in London too, so
They were my second favorite baseball team when I was a kid, the Oakland A's.
Huh.
And it was the green and yellow. I just thought
Gotcha.
that shit looked so cool.
That's what it was. Well,
Also, I have a fantasy baseball team, and they're called the Vita Blues. Do you know who Vita Blue is? He was a left-handed black guy who pitched late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
And pitched for a long time. He wasn't great, but he was like that one level down where he was like really damn good. But he was on the Reggie Jackson Oakland teams that won 3. They won 3 championships in a row.
Okay.
72, 73, 74, if I'm not mistaken.
Sweet.
But yeah, Vita Blue, later on in his career when he was older, pitched for the A's, who also won a World Series with Canseco and McGuire. And he wore a blue glove. He was the first guy to wear a glove that wasn't like brown rawhide. Okay. And I just saw that and I was like, that guy. Plus, he was a left-handed black pitcher, which is a rarity. You know, there's not a lot of those.
Gotcha.
And so again, I'm like 5 years old, and I'm like, his name was Vida, Vida Blue. He had a blue glove. And he was, again, a good pitcher. And, you know, I like, that's my whole thing. You were talking about, you know, the battle between the pitcher and the batter. That's what does it for me.
Gotcha.
And people who don't really know baseball, JT, yeah, sorry. I'll go all night talking about this. But, dude, it's like chess. It's like a real chess match. Like you're sitting there and you know that guy's weak spot and you know what you can do. I'll give you a good, for instance, just Sunday night.
Okay.
Wiffle ball. I know I have, I don't know how bad my injury is here, but I've been having a lot of trouble with my throwing shoulder. I think the rotator cuff has been compromised. Have an appointment, going to get it looked at, but I haven't pitched in a few weeks. We were playing, we were winning. We brought our man Jared Jones in to pitch. Jared's usually very effective. Got a couple outs in the inning, gave up a couple of homers, and we were up by a run. And to this man's credit, Jared turned around. He was like, "Dude, you gotta finish this for me." And I hadn't pitched in a while, and I was nervous because, you know, again, I was having some issues. I step up, take a couple warm-up pitches. I mean, both of them were like nasty curves and hit the lower end of the strike
Okay.
zone, like hit the back.
So you
I
got
was
some-
like,
alright.
oh, let's do this. And faced one dude, struck him out, end the game.
Gone.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
it
Winner.
was amazing. What
Winner,
a great
winner.
feeling. But again, so I worked the guy in, I worked him out. Again, there's a strategy. The last pitch that I threw him, okay, the guy that was on deck was their weakest hitter.
Okay.
So I knew this guy knew if we're gonna win the game, it's gonna
That's
be
a
right
chance.
now, and it's gonna be me. Now, I had thrown a few pitches. He was a lefty, and I bended him back in at him. And then I came a couple where I came outside to inside, and I thought, well, the most effective ones were the ones that bent away, but I threw them over the strike zone, and he hit him foul, and I thought, I'm just gonna throw it further outside. And he's gonna chase it, and he did.
Got him.
And I did it.
With the dub.
And it was amazing. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Congratulations.
But no, and again, but that's the whole thing behind it, right? Like we were going back. Zach was there; he could tell you. Going back and forth, it was like a mind game, right? Like I mean, I'm struggling; my shoulder was hurting. I snap my hand outward when I throw this certain pitch,
Okay.
and it hurts like a mullet. But I needed to throw it. Our producer, the Joe Aguirre Wibblewold documentary producer, is sitting right here, and I keep asking him when it's coming out. We're gonna put out a statement
Just
later
like our
in the
new
week
intro.
as to where it's coming from,
Oh,
or where it's at. But yeah, that's my favorite thing. Striking a grown man out is the most amazing feeling in the world. It really is. It's got to be a top 10 feeling to strike another grown man out. Just, you know what I mean? You're like,
it feels
you
good. Yeah,
suck.
like,
I got you.
Yeah,
I
so
love it and I live for it.
next week you're gonna have to teach me about the switch of the baseballs. I learned about that too this weekend. I guess the Spalding or whatever, whoever owns the baseballs, they change the size. And
Cheating
the
sons
tacky
of
shit.
bitches.
But yeah, we're not gonna.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get.
You
I'll
can
give
get into
all
all
that.
you. By the way, we have about 50,000 baseball fucking podcasts on
Yeah,
Clovercrest
pretty much
Media.
any day of the week.
So
turn it
like,
on.
if you want to continue this conversation of baseball, just turn on Clovercrest Media at any point of the day, and I promise you a baseball podcast will be highlighted or played. So check us out, clovercrestmedia.com. But yeah, needless to say, also leave in the comments what other teams you think I might be worthwhile joining. You know what I'm saying? Should I be team whatever? I don't know. Who knows? But until then, well, not until then. Whoa, it sounded like I was about to close out. But let's go and pay some bills real quick with good old DJ. Oh, fucking DJ Reefa. Shout out to DJ Reefa for keeping the fucking party lit all
did you have her there?
Saturday. Oh my God. When I tell you, I gotta show you some pictures, some videos. DJ Reefa lit. She had Donnie out there on the ones and twos teaching them things, which she's definitely gonna start less soon. DJ Reefa, you the latest DJ in all of Connecticut, all of New England. So make sure you guys, after this
There's always a holiday, birthday, or any celebration to look forward to. So why not prepare now and book your favorite DJ and or photographer? Book DJ Reefa, the most versatile female DJ around for your parties or small gatherings. Need a professional photo shoot done too? Then book Reef's Views to capture your dream shots as well. Don't need either, but still curious to check out the work? You can now find DJ Reefa on shopblackct.com, the best directory for all Black-owned businesses in Connecticut. On there, you'll find DJ Reefa's Instagram at Queen of All Trades with 3 L's, where you can now look and book. Need more information but want to reach out directly? Email DJ Reefa at masonsharifa@gmail.com. Memories last a lifetime, so let's start making them.
boom.
Put him in different rooms.
Like I said, you already know where to go. DJ Reefa, Queen of All Trades. Go book her on Shop Black CT. We lit over here.
I agree.
We're good.
No, not even. That's the worst part.
What?
You mean lit like, you know, like in a fun way.
Yeah, in a fun way, not like a
I
bad
don't
way.
know anything. When I was a
I
kid,
remember
lit
when-
meant you were like shit faced.
Yeah, lit.
Now lit means it's like
a
it's
bunch,
cool.
it's good. Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
a cool thing.
Is that- I
It's,
don't know.
I
Do
don't know.
people
You
do
look like you were
this?
raised in a room. You're showing your age.
I
So
don't
I
know
didn't want
why
to
I
leave you
feel-
hanging.
When people say it's lit, I'm like, don't. Isn't that where everybody? It's lit. I thought
It reminds me
I
of you're
don't
like, I don't
know.
know. Rob always says bet, so I just go with it. Bet.
I use it, and people are like, "Oh, like yeah, like I gives me some cred to throw it out there now." I'm like, "Yeah, bet."
Bet. And they're like, oh, I got
They
it.
do. People
See?
are like, "Oh,
Bet.
like they know."
Bet.
Bet.
See? Oh man. What I've been trying to duck and dodge politics, but then I see that we're already like an hour and a half in, and I'm like, shit. We're gonna go to the Yep, That's Racist, right? Because Yep, That's Racist is very interesting because I got put onto something very interesting. I got put onto this actually. So apparently there's this dude in New Jersey recently that had this whole racist incident with his neighbor. The white dude is named Edward Cagney Matthews, if I'm saying this correctly. And we're gonna pull up the video. If you go to the 4-minute mark, I think that's when everything starts to get fucking good. So apparently, well, not apparently, we're gonna show you the video in a few, but Edward Cagney Matthews decided to get in his black neighbor's face. It sounds like his neighbor was actually not foreign. I don't want to say foreign because he actually might be a U.S. citizen, whatever the case may be. He's living in the United States, but he sounds like he's from a different country. He has an accent. That's what I should say. He's black with an accent. And good old racist ass, punk ass Edward Cagney Matthews decided to go on a racist rant and call his neighbors monkeys, niggers, what the hard we are, and all that. Here we go. Yeah, here's this racist bitch right here. We'll go ahead and play a little bit of this. I'll shut up for a minute, and then we're gonna shoot to the 4-minute mark.
You want to know why I'm going after him? I don't care. I don't give a shit. So why are you here? I don't give a shit. So why are you here? I don't give a shit. Then get the fuck out of here then. I don't give a shit. Put your hands on me one more time. Oh, you put your hands on me. Come close.
And that's what, like, don't come on my property talking shit, and then like coming on my. Even if I'm not lit, and this is what I'm saying. Like when I'm lit, if I'm drunk, if I was drunk and he would have came and talking to somebody, that dude would have been dropped.
Fucking bastard. That's right. Yeah, my parents are both dead. Yeah, what the fuck? My parents are both dead too. And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What you gonna do? Nothing.
I don't know if you heard, but this dude apologized for his conduct.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Well, yeah, after which we're gonna get to in a second. Matter of fact, we'll go to the 4-minute mark. Yeah, we'll go to the 4-minute mark because this idiot, at this point, he says all this stuff. Then his dumbass decides to put out his address like we weren't gonna show up. Like the black community wasn't gonna show up.
In Cherry Hill, their fucking daughter got smashed. Is that what you want? No. And you want to know where I was when all this happened? I don't care. At work, monkey. I don't care where you were. At morgue. Just like I told the Mount Laurel police, get these fucking monkey niggers out of here, and you can't do shit. That's me fucking shit. 3602 Gramercy Way. That's where I live. Come fucking see me.
You idiot. Come fucking see me. Guess what?
So you're real comfortable.
The whole black community came and stayed this dumbass.
Bring whoever.
And this is why I say, like,
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, White, why are you back over
why
here?
couldn't this happen to me?
Someone called you. It's private property. You have no jurisdiction here whatsoever. None.
And this is the white
Hold
privilege.
on.
Look at this white privilege.
You know what? Hold on. No. I'm gonna let you do your thing. Go talk to these fucking niggers. Go ahead. Fuck you. Go talk to the niggers. Let them know what I'm all about and what their fucking rights they have.
All right. You want to go back?
What are you all about?
No, I'll stay right here. It's common
That's what I
property.
want to know.
Have a nice night.
Can we pull up his apology?
You guys from 1101?
Because I personally didn't see his apology.
I'm gonna let you
But when
guys
I
get
think,
an
like,
education right now.
when I now think of it,
Thanks,
you're like,
man.
yeah, he actually
No
apologized. Like, what are you apologizing for? Because obviously you felt this way, and this is the truth. Like, this
Well,
is
the
what.
best part of the apology was he said he was drunk, shouldn't have said that
Denise,
stuff.
I'm not going
he
away
didn't
until your
mean
husband
it.
stops fucking finding me and threatening me
blah,
while I'm
blah,
at
blah,
work.
blah,
Yeah,
blah.
Candy, cut it out, man.
The
Oh, wait,
neighbors are like,
arrest
this
me.
motherfucker
Are you
doesn't
kidding?
know.
Relax.
You
Time,
fucking
he's
niggers.
always
Cut it
screaming
out,
at the
dude.
black people. It's not like
Well,
it was
you
just
don't see
one
it, Brandon.
fucking time.
36
always
Gramercy Way. Come see
Look,
me, you
Nobody's
fucking
coming to
fucker.
see you, Cagney. Go home. I'll talk to you in a
And we
minute.
talk about this every time we do Yup, That's Racist. Is there's so many of these videos out there, Rob.
I agree with you.
Just
And every day there's like new ones, and it's like
we're not racist. We're not a racist country.
I just don't believe these are all like one-offs. Like, oh, I never use the N-word like that. Just that one time. Yeah, okay, buddy. You know, if you can, dude, just sit there and say it to a fucking cop. Like, what are you, insane? Are you insane?
And then even then, so right, accountability. Those are statements. What those are racial hatred state. Those what the fuck is it called? Race baiting, hatred, all that shit, right? And the cops just like, yeah. It literally took the community to come to his address for the cops to make an arrest. This is the bullshit that we're talking about with accountability. If you see that this person is literally verbally assaulting somebody and being verbally aggressive and using racist language like this, why are you just letting him stand around and these fucking niggers and all? I don't give a damn. If you're a white cop, if you really care about social justice, doing the right thing, the minute he would have went on that rant, they should have took his ass down, tased his ass up, put him in the fucking car. Treat everybody else, these regular criminals, the same way you treat us.
Right.
Because guess what? If it was a black dude doing that, do you think he would have been able to walk away?
No, and it's funny. You notice the black guy, even though he was being threatened and the dude was on his property and in his face,
still had to keep his composure.
Nope, not doing it. And that's bullshit. Because, again, my thing is, I think the law said that if you say the N-word, whatever happens right afterwards is what happens. And that's the end of it. So run your mouth. We'll see what happens.
So, well, apparently he saw what happened. He has been charged with a couple different charges. I didn't even honestly care too much to see exactly what he's been charged with, but he has been charged with some kind of hate crimes.
Being a piece of shit. That's
yeah.
what he's charged
so
with.
It's going to be interesting to see actually what happens, what sticks, but there was a video, just like the last time in South Carolina when somebody decided to be racist in the neighborhood. The black community pulled up and made it a living hell for him to the point where the cops actually had to just pull him out.
Is this like a new thing now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're showing up.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, right? Like, so white people do shitty stuff. They tell black people, come to my house. And then you guys have to show up. And then something happens.
And unfortunately, it's going to get to the point where we're going to show up and one of these houses is going to get fucked up. It's eventually just going to happen. It's going to happen. So, and I'm not going to feel bad at all. Because you keep doing dumb shit. No, well. And then you want to do dumbass apologies like, I shouldn't have said this shit. No, fuck you. Fuck you in your apology. Edward was charged with Penal Code 878 being a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Sketchy. I couldn't remember. Hilarious. I couldn't remember what the Penal Code number was, but that is correct.
That is
878.
Hilarious. Fucking ass. Well, oh man. So
by the way, listen, kudos to the audience tonight.
Yo, they are killing it tonight.
I mean, the comments are on fire tonight.
They're on fire.
There's not a throwaway comment in the comment section tonight. Well thought out, well written. Kudos to all of you.
We love our outfits.
They're great.
Y'all are amazing. I think we have some of the best in the game. So
clearly,
thank you guys so much. And commenting and always just staying active. Love you guys. Let's pay into the bill with Sticky Beaks before we get into President Biden and VP Harris. Notice as I say his VP Harris because I don't even want to claim them anymore. Like, I feel like they're just there. Like they're there filling. This is like a gap year for America. And like America just needed some kind of supervision. But yeah, let's go with Sticky Beaks and then we'll get into those two.
Clovercrest Media Group is proud to present Season 2 of Sticky Beak.
He threatened to kill her, you know. He said it out loud. He said, I will kill you. She did not believe him.
I think the circumstances were dubious about her disappearance because she had run away several times prior.
She told me he hasn't told a soul. The man driving the car, whoever he was, nobody's ever said a peep. It was never talked about again, even between the two of them. And I'm not sure those two even saw each other after this.
In a no-body case, you generally need time and seclusion to dispose of the body.
She told me that he's been lying. He lied about this whole thing.
In his own mind, he probably does love her in a way we would consider particularly sick or twisted, but I think in his own mind, he does love her.
She felt like she was climbing the walls, which isn't a phrase that a kid would use, but that's what she's telling me. Like, she felt like she was almost trapped. She said she was trying to look for a way out.
I won't go into detail, but I would say you're hot.
Subscribe to Sticky Beak wherever you listen to podcasts.
Boom. Make sure everybody's tuning in to season 2. I appreciate those that have been going. All of our followers that have been going from I'll Piss You Off Shortly to Sticky Beaks and that have been reaching out. That's been amazing following. I know I've been told quite a couple times that Sticky Beaks has gotten some I'll Piss You Off Shortly following. Hopefully, I'll Piss You Off Shortly will get some Sticky Beaks following shortly, but that just shows the growth and evolution of Clovercrest Media Group. And by the way, if you have a small business out there and you're looking to like advertise, this is the perfect experience. Why, right? Because you get this full exposure. I know I show certain shows, but if you go beyond the I'll Piss You Off Shortly walls, you'll see that Clovercrest Media Group will offer you more than 40 plus shows, podcasts, live shows all together. Shit, I think we probably lead the game now, and it seems like murder mysteries and murder docs and podcasts and
We got
shit
a lot
like
of
that.
those.
Like a lot of those, and they're all taken off. So like when I'm saying you're in hundreds of thousands of clicks from what I hear some of these podcasts. So we're definitely the place where you want to advertise. And then you have great shows like I'll Piss You Off Shortly that just like you see the interaction, you see all the engagements right here in the comments right here. So make sure you guys are checking out clovercrestmedia.com, not only for I'll Piss You Off Shortly content, not only for Sticky Beat content, but for all of our content, sports, talk, murder, mystery, all the genres. I think we check all the boxes.
Yeah,
all the boxes.
Wellness and there's religion. There's even
Religion,
religion.
hey.
The Finding God podcast.
See, look
with
at that.
Kiana Mitchell, which is very good.
See, Finding God. Oh, so that's 2 she has now. Finding
She has
God,
2.
and
Yep.
so she started. Hey,
Yeah, Kiana is amazing. She told me, even though I'm an atheist, I can be on her Finding God podcast.
See, there you go. You might find God.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try to ruin it. My plan, I told her, is to ruin it for everybody.
Oh, jeez.
I said I'll have none of you believing by the time I'm finished here.
That's funny. And the travel podcast, which I still have to get myself.
Oh yeah, that's right. They wanted you on that travel podcast too.
So yeah, we got it all here. We got it all cooking it up at Clovercrest Media. You know who's not cooking? Good old Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris.
Oh boy.
I don't know what it is. Like, I to be honest, I wanted. Okay, let's backtrack. Well, everybody knows I only voted for them 2 because I wanted Trump out of office.
That's what everybody did. Well,
I
that's what a lot of
honestly
people did.
didn't expect too much from them.
Yeah,
but I expected something, right? So for right now, I mean, you have from a lot of executive type orders for environmental. We're looking here. We got some for equity, but then when we look at equity, it's not even like direct things that they promise, right? So one of the first things, of course, we know was like where are we at the HUD when he opened up the HUD equity. I just had all my little notes there, lost it all. Economic. So yeah, economy, environment, equity, census, immigration, undoes Trump's expansion on immigration enforcement, reverses Trump's restrictions. So a lot of it is more reversals than his own shit. And then you have coronavirus, immigration, national security, established as interagency working group to purpose improvements for recruiting, retaining. Like all this shit is nothing that's really relevant.
Well, I like them to get to the bottom of the January 6th thing. They can't even do that shit. This is my whole thing about the Democrats and why I don't really want to be one. They're the most incompetent fucking people in the world.
They're all over the place. They're scatterbrained.
For 4 years, the last 4 years of Obama's term, the Republicans made he couldn't even get a fucking Supreme Court nominee through. And I thought, dude, beat Kamala Harris, Booker, fucking who's the jerk off from Connecticut? Murphy, Blumenthal.
Yeah,
they're all fucking lawyers. Stetler is a constant. Do you fuckers get off Twitter like, hey, we got to do something about this? Motherfucker, we elected you to do some shit about it.
Do something.
They're all on Twitter all the time, like Ted Lieu. He's funny and shit, but it's like, hey, we need to stop blah, blah, blah. But it's like, well, that's what your job is to do. You do that shit.
I love how they always say, oh, I'm doing this for my people, for my district, my whatever. everything that we asked you to do, y'all have never done any of it. You've taken so many other fucking things and done all that other shit, but literally what your people want you to do, they just disregarded. Oh, we'll get to it. We're gonna make this happen. What the fuck? When does the people actually come into value from the people to the people that voted you in?
You see all the
or
states,
from the people that voted
you
you
see
in.
all the states that are cutting the COVID benefits.
Yeah. Well, they're all fucking red states.
They're all red states. You notice the blue states aren't saying jack shit about it. You don't see the Democrats trying to stand up for people.
No.
Just gonna let them get steamrolled because you know why? At the end of the day, they don't really give a shit.
They're
either.
in office.
They don't care either.
They don't give a fuck anymore. They have really 2.5 years to figure out what their next move is. Which honestly, I don't even think that they even know what the fuck their move is. Well, I have an idea what their move is.
It's hope fucking Trump dies is what it is.
Hope Trump dies, and then you see that they move their demographic from African Americans to Asians. Everything from the Democratic Party now is all and not saying that we shouldn't protect Asians, right? The Asian population, right? API, however you go, right? But they're starting to ditch the fucking black agenda and they're really pushing this Asian agenda. So now, hear me out. Here's my conspiracy theory, Rob, right? We pretty much know that the black vote is pretty much going to be split, right? Because even black people are starting to be woke as they want to consider as the left or right.
To do their own research.
Right, to do their own research, blacks. They're starting to see that blacks are starting to vote Republican a little bit. Blacks are starting to get a little bit of that conservative money and that mindset. And of course, blacks in the Christian mindset, that's going to be hard to fucking break, right? Especially you start having these Christians and Baptists that start having all this money and shit like that. We see where that goes. We see how Trump was able to influence the black church. So now, what's the next demographic that's pretty much untouched? That has the impression that they don't vote, that they really are out of the way when it comes to politics. What's the demo? You know it. You want to say it. The Asian demographic. So guess what? If we can go ahead and appease to these people, if we can go ahead and get them to kind of believe in us, to start getting them to vote, we don't necessarily have to worry about the black agenda only when it comes down to it, like when we can get Juvenile to fucking remix, back that thing up, to vax that thing up, and have them looking like fucking fools because we already know that they're running out of money. But now we see that this is where the new demographic is going. That's the new demographic push. And they have all this time to really get that culture, that demographic to start doing something. I don't know. That's just my conspiracy theory. That's what it's looking like.
There's a reason there's a 6-3 conservative majority in a country that's increasingly liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For 8 years, Bush and company were hard right. And then Obama came in, and it was 4 years of being in the middle. And then Trump came on, and it was 4 years hard right again. And we're like fucking not even back to the center with this jerk off. It's like we're still kind of on the right with this guy. And so that's the problem here. I don't, for once in their history, I would love to see the Democrats have some fucking balls.
Facts.
Do something progressive. This is why, no offense to Joe Biden, but wrong old white guy.
Facts.
Bernie Sanders. That's the only fucking dude that would even dream of trying something different. Who would even dream of being a progressive, an actual progressive. And that's the same old bullshit every 4 years. But that's what people want, and that's what they keep voting for. But the right keeps going further right, and you dumbasses are fucking, again, dude, think about it. Anybody who's like anybody who's a little like more liberal, right? You're a feminist bitch, or you're a fucking Antifa lunatic criminal. You go, Bernie, you're a fucking communist socialist. You hate America. Little bit left, or right away. You go hard right, you're a patriot. I mean, they got that shit down to a science right now. We're fucking losing the war.
Yeah. I don't know how we I don't know what comes back or how we come back from this. Bernie Sanders is the only one who still had a dream.
Jared, I
That's fucking
seriously,
hilarious.
if you do this every week, we will release all of your comments as a like here's what you missed.
Yeah,
That'll piss you off shortly, and it'll just be
the
Jared.
highlights.
This is the whole show. Listen to it if you want, or don't.
Congress and the Senate need to have term limits. Agreed. We've been trying to get that like done for I don't know how long, or we've been saying that for how long. We have too many politicians not working, not working for the common man and woman. These politicians are working for themselves and their special interests. Of course, that's the whole definition of a politician, right? You're getting put into this position by the people that pay you, right? And then we'll see what policies get put through, and then which ones get kind of pushed to the side. But I do you think that they're actually going to have do you think that they'll have a chance in 2024, or what do you think will be necessary for them to win in 2024?
They've got to do something, anything at all. I mean, because you're right. What have they done so far? And again, I know if I don't mean it, I don't mean to pick on her because she's a woman, but that this Jen Psaki, such an asshole. She's as much of an asshole to me as Sarah Sanders and Kayleigh McEnany were. And again, I don't mean that in any way because they're female, because plenty of the dudes were assholes too. But dude, there's just this like real like
there's a way to be a liberal
nasty,
asshole,
nasty bitch kind of a thing going on with all these
that
people.
liberal bitchy
like, cut this
stuck
shit
up
already.
shit. Yeah,
I'm not interested. And the same thing with Biden, like I said, and I swore to God, I told people, right? If Biden pulls fucking bullshit, I'm gonna call him on it.
And he's
been such an asshole. He's been such an arrogant douchebag, and that's not working for me.
Well, he's gonna have to figure it out. Or
I don't know what they're gonna do because they haven't done jack shit. They're not gonna be able to do jack shit. And the only way again, your only chance of winning in 2024 is if Trump is either in jail or dead.
And even then, I don't even think that
he might even win dead, like fucking Kim Jong-un. Imagine
the first
that shit.
one. Oh my God,
I wouldn't be surprised. And then fucking, you know what'll happen? It will end up with co-fucking presidents, Eric and Donald Jr.
Jesus,
that's what you fuckers want, man. There you go.
And they don't even seem like a good PvP like team, right? So like when we look at like VP teams, right? You look at Bill and Gore, they were a great team. At least they look like they clicked. When you look at Bush and Cheney, oh my God, they clicked. Hell, when you look at Obama and this Biden, they clicked. You look at Orange Man and the mother stare, whatever. I don't even know. And where the fuck is he? I know he was homeless for a little bit.
If I had to guess, he's probably in a bath somewhere, just scrubbing all the yuck off himself.
No, not even. Oh, you're talking about Pence?
Pence.
Yeah, like where the fuck is Pence?
But probably saying Hail Marys like at a Fast and Furious pace.
So where's you know what I mean? So where's Pence? Where's the chemistry between Biden and Harris? Where's the we did it, Joe? Like, I feel like that was all just comical.
By the way,
outside of that, like,
let me say this about Mike Pence, who I think might earn the award as the biggest jerk off on the planet.
I agree.
Here's a guy who was literally like a darling of the conservatives, and pretty much anybody who wasn't a conservative in or near Indiana, they hated the guy's guts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This guy hates abortion so much. It really weighs on his mind, almost as much as homosexuality, which is also on his mind a lot.
I think in the other way, though.
A lot.
He just doesn't want to admit it.
But Mike Pence was on the road to someday being the president of the United States, a great conservative Republican president. And now everybody fucking hates him. I mean, like 98% of the people on the planet, if your last name is not Pence, there's no chance that you're in the group of people that like Mike.
No.
That's fucked up. think about that, right? You talk about how Trump tarnished the Trump name.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of Gary Hart, like there's a lot of guys that fucked their shit up. Has anybody blown it more than Mike Pence?
No.
He's done. What
done.
a fucking loser. The conservatives think he's an asshole.
The conservatives hate you. The liberals hate you. Your family hates you. Couldn't find a house.
Mike Pence.
You suck.
Mike
You suck at life.
Pence-
You gotta really suck at life.
Mike Pence could murder Donald Trump on national TV, and his popularity rating would go down.
I can see it now.
Think about that. Think about what I just said.
The liberals like, he's a murderer. We really hate him now. And then the conservatives be like, oh my God, he killed our kid.
His likability would somehow go from 2% to an absolute fucking 99.9 with only his wife, Karen, still hanging in there because she's contractually obligated by the Bible. AKA Mike Pence's favorite book.
Oh, God.
Also the only one he's ever read.
Facts. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
That's what I think, but what do I know?
Oh, that's funny. The fact you said his Bible. It's so small, but that shit's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. That shit's fucking hilarious. Since we're on politics and we're gonna wrap it up, but I wanted to speak on this last kind of thing on like ending with Biden kind of like using this whole end of war with terror pull out by September 11th thing as his like, I think he's gonna kind of use that as like one of his pillars, right, for the next election. I don't think a lot of people realize what this true pullout really means, or like end of the war on terror. First and foremost, I want to let a lot of people know that the war's been over. That war has been over for years. It's not something that has just stopped. And when I say that, my personal opinion, the war was bullshit. And this is coming from somebody that fought in that war. Can anybody still tell me what we gained from that war? What have we gained from that war? What have we not?
We didn't even seize the opium fields like I thought we were gonna do.
And there's a lot of them. My literally our little joint little base that we had to build from ground up and waste thousands and thousands of government dollars building that doesn't stand up today. Yeah. Listen, Jerry says, wait. Apparently a lot of people don't know what pull out really means, Rob. That's funny. So yeah, like this is a bittersweet moment for me. Not even bittersweet, but I feel like maybe this is the time in history like Vietnam War, World War II, where everybody kind of got the truth, and maybe the truth of this war will really start to come out. I can't remember, and I'm having trouble because I can't remember if I signed some kind of NDA when I got out the military if I couldn't talk about certain things, but I don't give a fuck. So I'm sure if I get in trouble, whatever. But like, I think about the money wasted in this war, right? We'll start with simple shit, right? Pallets of water. And we're going to start with simple shit. Pallets of water that were emptied and just like open bottle waters because us Americans couldn't have water that was in the sun for more than so many days, and it was super hot, and it pallets of water that was wasted that would get moldy because the sun's just beaming on it. Or we want to talk about ammo rounds. I mean, rounds that were just wasted, doing fires, test fires, all this other kind of shit. I mean, just firing at people and all this other shit for what? Over a building? Oh, granted, a lot, and I don't want to say over a building because there were a lot of lives lost, and I don't want to take away from that. But that compared to what we've been through economically, physically, the lives that we've lost, the lives that we've put at risk, the battle buddies that I know that have harmed themselves, the mental health, the physical health, physical conditioning for 20 plus years for what?
Well, so how about when Israel hits Palestine?
Yeah.
Right? They hit the West Bank and they blow half that shit up, right? And the whole world's like, come on, like that's a disproportionate response to like bunch of Palestinians throwing rocks or like, shooting missiles that don't land anywhere.
Yep.
Talk about disproportionate response. Again, a lot of lives on 9/11, but a couple buildings.
Yep.
Right? I mean, we've been there for 20 fucking years. Like, all right. I mean, got it.
And
got it.
And that's
Don't
the thing.
fuck
Like,
with us.
I hate it so much, and I hated it being. I hated the fact that why we were over there, right? Because you get there, first and foremost, Afghanistan is one of the most beautiful countries I've been to, and I've been to a few, not to say a lot, but a few. Between like the geographical location, all the climate changes, all that kind of shit, like whatever the case may be, it's a beautiful country. The sunrises, sunsets, everything about it. The culture is fucking beautiful. And then you look at it and you're just like, we're disrupting a culture, a nation that has really nothing to do with us over a group of people.
Right.
Like, and when you go over there and you just see shit fucked up, we're literally turned a whole country into a battlefield over a group of people. And these are some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
And then, of course, here we go. We have to Americanize everything. And sorry if you guys see us fighting with this fucking fly. We've been trying to kill this fucking fly.
As you
see, right, Joe has this fucking
shit. Come on with the flies.
But fucking rain just comes for like 5 days and the fucking apocalypse comes. Anyways, here we are attacking people, like you said, 20 years.
Yeah.
The destruction that we'll never be able to pay back. And then even just the government funding, right? So one time we, I can't remember whether we hit it or we did a farmer's cow got murked. We murked the farmer's cow. How much do you think a cow is worth? Say Wisconsin, Montana, cattle, prime, Wagyu cow.
$3,000 to replace your cow.
I don't know if I can we gave them in the tens of thousands for a cow for safety measures to make things right.
No, that's not. You just get them another cow.
No, and this is cold hard cash.
No, I know.
Cold hard cash.
Yeah,
so like
a lot of money got lost out there.
I'll tell you this right now. If there's ever to be an audit, I don't see how the government would be able to and that's why like the sense of money when I hear money and people are like, oh, I gotta save money, I'm sorry, I've seen money get fucking wasted in the military. Deployments, money gets wasted, food wasted, shit it's just 20 years of waste. So really it makes me think like, what really was this war about? It couldn't have been about some towers going down and people, right? Because we've seen America not care about their own civilians in their own country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is it really about? So then it's like there was some agency that we didn't trust, not a government agency, but a true agency that can sit there and say, no, we need to audit this shit. Because there's a lot. If America knew where their tax dollars really went to this war, 20 years of multi-billions of dollars. That's where our deficit is now, right? So now and then I look at it, and now especially in the career path that I'm in now, I sit there and say, the war is not physical anymore, right? It's what?
Mental.
It's mental and digital.
Right. Digital.
Nobody gives a fuck about physical warfare.
Mental.
Well, yeah, war is definitely mental, but everything is cybersecurity now, right?
Right.
Cyber war, cyber crimes.
Yeah, we're losing there too.
And so here we are, America, macho, egotistical, pride motherfuckers. We're macho, we'll kick your ass, we'll stomp you on the ground. There's 2 countries that are kicking our ass in the cyber war. Yeah, y'all can you send your troops all you want to. You don't have the money. For the past 20 years, what have we been doing? Physical warfare. For the past 20 years, what have these other countries been doing? Preparing for cyber warfare. And we are one of the most cyber dependent countries, if not the most cyber dependent country in there. So now here we are, physical, and we're already halfway being beat mentally. We cannot compete. We're getting every day there's something new. How many times have we heard about us attacking somebody else in the cyber games?
Well, and to your point though on that, because we're getting our asses handed to us a lot on that, but we've talked about this. Obama cut the military by loading up on special forces tactical units that could go in there, kill a fucking head of state, and be gone before anybody knew what happened. But he cut the military. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, as if like we're going to invade Normandy anytime soon. Like we don't have wars like that, you fucking morons.
And that's why I still don't exactly. And we're still putting money into these kind of programs, still kind of put into guess what? Everything is electronic now. You have your nukes, you have your codes, you have your ways to send that shit off. Why are we still doing bayonet training? Why
you
are we still
read
doing
my mind? Because I was just
like,
gonna say, right? Like you're like, yeah, bayonet. So you don't need a bayonet.
Why the fuck am I spending countless of thousands of dollars on rounds of my soldiers that can't shoot worth a damn? But guess what? They don't even know how to turn on or use their laptop to write a fucking report.
Yeah.
And you see why we're losing. So do you really think Sketchy says here before I get on my point? Sketchy says we spend more money on our military than the next 12 countries combined. We are allies. See, and that if you just take a minute to look and just sit back and beyond all the bullshit, where the fuck are we going as a country? Has the meathead finally met its match? And when I say the meathead, we're the jock. And always in these movies, guess what happens to the jock? The jock gets fucking beat by the nerd, by the small fry, by the more intellectual person. And right now, we're the fucking beefhead, thinking that steroids and being, guns and ammo, man, is gonna fucking keep us safe. Well, what the fuck are y'all idiots gonna do when you wake up in the morning and your bank account says 0? And then guess what? Bank of America ain't answering the phone because their fucking telephones are down. They can't even figure out their fucking systems. What are y'all gonna do then? Well, when you go to fucking swipe that fucking Chase credit card and nothing fucking works. What happens then? What happens then? Oh, a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't got cash no more because y'all think cash is fucking not king. Because y'all think fucking Bitcoin and crypto is the end all be all. Huh. Y'all gonna be real fucking mistaken when you wake up and your Cash App fucking is fucking depleted, or somebody went through your Cash App to get to your bank account to get to your fucking ends. Y'all keep thinking Venmo and all that shit is fucking cute. That's the last thing. All right. Y'all gonna be sadly mistaken when you wake up and you ain't got access to shit. All right, America. Keep thinking shit sweet, America. Y'all think this is a physical game now? This is not the fucking early 1900s. This is not the 1970s. This ain't 2001 no more, dog. I'm serious. I tell motherfuckers right now, I'm not gonna fight you. You got an issue with me, I'm gonna find you digitally. Not saying I'm gonna do something wrong, but it's too easy to find some digital shit. Oh, you got back child support? Don't talk to me. I'll air all your shit out. Oh, you had a case that you tried to hide back in the day? Oh, it's cancel culture now. I'll cancel culture your ass out. That's why I'm open with everything about me. I understand that I'd rather be an open book, and a lot of y'all motherfuckers are scared to be an open book, and a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't understand. Jared says, I move we raise the musket budget for 2022. Yo, that's cool. I still buy my guns. I still love my guns. But I know I'm smart enough to arm myself a different way. I'm not gonna be sitting here with all these guns, and then what am I gonna do when my fucking bank account's depleted and my loans are all fucked up because somebody hacked into some system? Who am I gonna go shoot? Some hacker out in fucking Bratislava somewhere?
I don't know where that country is. I'll assume the former Russia, but it's the same shit though with border security. I mean to say, like, build a wall. All right, so a wall costs like $20 billion, and then like $5 billion a year to maintain it, and people to work on it and run it, or spend less money by fucking drones.
By drone, you figure what? You take seriously, take a 20 million wall. What is that gonna give you in return versus taking 20 million and maybe educating 10,000 people for cybersecurity? I bet you your return is going to be a lot greater than spending 20 million on the wall and getting a couple people rich, a couple of your boys rich, and then the wall's not even finished. Haven't even gotten more than like 10 miles, 100 miles done to it. I don't even think 100, but yeah. So
when the Democrats wanted to build a wall, I thought that was a stupid idea and a huge waste of money. And when Trump wanted to do it, I consistently would just stay on that. That's a terrible idea. I mean, I'll never forget the day where he talked about that stupid wall and he was like, "You'll never be able to get over it." Well, unless you had a really tall ladder. Yeah.
And
That's how
people
you
were
get
getting
over
over
a
it.
wall, dumb fuck. Yeah, a ladder. They make ladders that are really tall. How big is your wall? They'll just make a ladder a foot taller, shithead.
It was crazy. All them contractors, all of them are contractors. They have all the walls. I mean, all the fucking ladders that you can put up to a wall. So, whatever. Oh man, I don't know what we're gonna do with our government. I don't know what we're gonna do about our politicians. Maybe like, I don't want to say that. They'll probably cancel us, but I don't know. Maybe we
well, I agree.
Term limits. Here we go. Term limits. I don't even know. Local elections, and I don't know. Start thinking for yourselves. I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh, that's almost as fucking bad, though.
Well, yeah, because you have a lot of uneducated people.
The problem is people don't know how to think for themselves. People don't know how to look shit up on their own. People don't understand that, when you go into something and you've already got a bias, like, you're going to find the answer you're looking for exactly the way you thought of it, because that's what you want it to be. And that's how our brain works. When you don't know, this is literally how the human brain works. When you don't know something, you know what your brain does? Just make shit up. It's just like, oh, it's probably this then. And until you find out otherwise, that's what you think. That's how stupid we are. And we're too stupid as a species to know how stupid we are. That's the sad part about it. Like, at least dogs and apes and monkeys, like, they know. Yeah. They know where they're at. We're fucking morons, dude. We think we're so smart and we're so special. I'll tell you what, until we started building walls, we were barely able to survive on this planet because we're fucking morons. That's it.
Thank God for evolution a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, we're still the people that think we're the only living species in this whole galaxy and all this other shit. So hopefully, in 10 years, while you guys are taking your space flights, you guys start running into other forms. I mean, because apparently it's been proven now that the UFOs are real and that they're people are actually.
Well, let's tap the brakes on what that means. Unidentified flying objects are more than likely either weapons being developed by the Chinese and the Russians, or it's some sort of weather instrument. I think we'll find out. Because here's the thing, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I've said this before. It would be so fucking hard if you were in outer space to find this planet, let alone know that it's got people on it, because it's so blocked and it's so protected in the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why again, like the ancient Sumerians, if you have the story of the Anunnakis, like where the aliens come down and they like enslave the human race, and then they liked us, and so they like taught us how to do shit. And I think to myself, where did they go? Where did they go? They left?
Yeah.
Would they fly to some other fucking place?
Their technology is probably better than ours.
How?
You can't believe.
How?
Who knows? We don't know what's out there. We can't believe that we're the only living species in this whole.
It's taken 6.5 billion years to get to this bullshit where my internet literally just fucking froze.
So you're telling me
you
believe in 6 billion things?
You think like a couple thousand years ago that there was some sort of super alien, high sophisticated, technologically advanced society? How would they fucking
You believe
come
in
from?
these timelines?
Yes.
So you believe in 6 billion years ago?
Yes.
How? Okay, when you say a tree is 30 years old, I can sit there and say, okay, we'll go by the ring theory.
Right.
Explain to me 6 billion years.
Soil. You can go in soil and you could totally see the difference in soil samples within each soil sample.
They've been to the core?
To the core? No, you would fucking melt. Can't go to the
So
core.
how do you know? You can't say soil. You telling me that you got 6 billion
There's
years of soil that people have seen.
Yeah. Yeah, you understand that the Earth.
But you believe that we're the only people
in the whole. Yeah, I do.
In this whole universe,
so
fuck the galaxy, the whole universe. You think we're the only living organisms like this?
Yes.
That have the mental capacity to go out into space, and you believe that
I do.
They've seen 6 billion years of soil.
Correct.
And we haven't been to the core.
Yeah.
Well, there you guys have it. This has been I'll Pitch You Up Shortly.
I don't even understand what? Yeah, that's all. That seems pretty legit. Who knows? Who knows?
Exactly. Who
knows?
I would
nobody
appreciate
really
that more
nobody
than
really knows
with the 6 billion.
Nobody
year.
knows. But listen, here's. I'm going to tell you two things
Jesus wore Nikes.
that people don't fucking consider this. Right? Again, let's go with the real timeline. 6.5 billion years. Let's say that's the actual timeline. Joe is more likely incorrect than correct on this one. I'm fucking right. Believe me. I know what I'm talking about.
You see what he says? Our search methods contradict the scientific method.
So, for instance, the Grand Canyon. You know how the Grand Canyon was formed? People used to be like, oh, it was the Great Flood from the Bible. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with fucking water. That's wind. That's wind. And you could see it in the levels of soil. You can see. Because at different times, the environment was a little bit different. At this point, the dirt was red, and then this was more of a desert climate. So they can see and they can tell over the years.
So that dirt was a little bit more moist or drier than 1,000-year dirt.
Correct. They can figure that stuff out. You know that, right? It's super. You can also find.
So they can figure that shit out, but we're still fucking up this one solo planet. Out of 6 billion years,
yeah, we're morons.
God,
yeah. Yeah. Do you understand that we've only had radio waves for about 130 years?
Did we have them?
That's it.
Or did we just were smart enough to realize what they were? Because I'm of the belief that we didn't just invent things. We just figured out how to.
Well, sure. They figured out radio waves. They figured out how to harness it. And then they used it. The point is, before 130 years ago, there would have been no way that any species flying through the solar system would have looked at the planet Earth and been like, "Oh, let's take a flyby." They will go, look at those people. Oh, because we weren't producing anything that would have given off any kind of bat signal that we were there.
What do you mean we're giving off all this radiation, global warming?
No, that's new. That's a recent development.
Yeah, like
before 130 years ago, we had no radio waves, literally nothing.
And that's why all they're trying to come now. Because they're like, holy shit.
What I'm saying is, dude, if you flew into the Milky Way, first of all, just getting past the gas planets, like you'd probably get destroyed and burn up. Okay, you got to know the right route, like NASA does, to get in and out of the fucking, maybe to get in and out of the solar system. So that's number one. I say this all the time, dude. It would be, again, this planet is so tucked in behind 7 other planets and then whatever the fuck Pluto is. I don't even know what it is anymore.
Depending on the generation.
Big ice ball, but whatever. You would never be able to find the Earth. And again, it's not like we've been sending out the bat signal to outer space. That started in the 60s. Literally. So, again, my point is that even if some super intelligent, sophisticated, technologically advanced species was flying through the Milky Way, they would have no idea to look at Earth. There would have been nothing special like, oh, what is all that blue shit? Like, we should go look at it. This planet from far away does not look like a good place to visit. 70% of the surface is water. Why would you come here?
Who doesn't want water?
Bro, there's entire planets that are made of like crystals and diamonds. Go that motherfucking place.
You can't ingest crystals. Well, maybe they're
You could spend them though.
Yeah, if you get there
and buy all the water you want.
That's why Richard Branson and all them
probably the douchebags. They're going
there
for
we
the
go.
Diamonds.
We've solved it all. Well, if you guys believe in extra life forms, if you guys believe in any of this extra stuff, please keep joining us every Monday night at 8 p.m.
We should get somebody on to talk about this shit.
I think that's what we're going to do.
Like an expert.
We definitely should.
And I'll just make up the shit I make up and we'll see who's right.
Maybe if you guys, maybe we get enough support and maybe if we sign like the big deal with like one of the, you know what I mean? We can actually afford, if we'd be able to afford one of those seats in Branson's jet. That would be an interesting episode.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Listen,
get Robin Jones out of space.
Aliens, this is the other arrogant asshole thing. And I don't mean to point out what Sketchy Peasant said, because I don't mean it like that. But we assume if we meet intelligent life, that it's going to kind of look like us. Maybe they'll have weird buggy eyes and longer fingers, but we assume it'll look like a human.
I would hope.
I
don't assume. I would hope.
I wonder if the octopus isn't something that came from outer space. Have you ever seen those things?
Yeah.
They're really fucking smart. They can do shit that we couldn't dream of doing. You see them... They can go through like a
little hole, the little boulder holes. Now
we can't do that.
I'm a firm believer now that you know how like meteorites come and like they hit the water or whatever, and I believe that there's probably like organisms or things on there that probably come in. They might survive, some might not, and that's where you get some of these weird things.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Now maybe, and that's the thing that you say we think that like aliens and shit would be in the form of us. They might not be.
Right.
They might be in the form of like octopus or some other kind of strange shit. And who knows? They might be able to chafe and morph or not. I don't know. Who knows?
Wouldn't it be funny if an octopus is an alien that landed in the ocean and he thinks that's what the planet is? And he's like walking around and he's like, where the fuck are the people?
So
there are people here.
So we don't even know. There's bottoms of the ocean that we don't even know about, right?
That has always bothered me.
So, and what if that was like, we're so worried about what's in space.
I know.
We don't even know what the fuck's under us. And when I say under us, like there's the ocean and then here we go. We still have the core and all this other shit. So like, I don't know. It's weird.
Rob wants to go on a mission to Earth's core.
I do.
Wear a suit.
I really want to know,
like a high pressure fire suit, because it's balls hot in the core.
I watched, and this wasn't recently, but this was years ago. What was it? Journey to the Center of the Earth with The Rock. I really wanted to see like when you jump and you go in, does it like really like reverse and all that kind of weird shit, or do you just jump and like you just go straight through to wherever like the opposite side? I don't want to say China because that's ignorant. Because
you're gonna go straight through to China, except for that as soon as you get to here, you're gonna melt.
Now, do I cool back off once I hit like the whatever pressure?
Yeah, once you get past that point, your body then liquefies again. In mind you, 8 million pieces, and then your frozen body lands in China.
Do we know that the core is really that hot? No.
Rob, just asking. I'm gonna ask you one question. And this might make you feel stupid, and if it does, that's your own fault. Do you know what a volcano is?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're telling me. And that's
yes, I'm telling you.
I'm just saying.
There's more of that shit inside the planet.
How do we know that it
pops out through the volcanoes?
So you're telling me it's coming all the way from the core.
When you vomit,
and it's coming
when you vomit, where does it come from? Does it come from your throat or does it come from the core?
It comes from my stomach.
The core.
Really, my stomach is kind of like over here. But what I'm saying is, we don't know. How many people have seen a picture of the core?
Better question. How many people have seen a picture of God?
Here we go. Exactly.
No core, no God.
No core, no God.
I agree.
There we go. There we have it. There you have it,
I'm
folks.
in.
There we go. See, only at I'll pitch you out shortly. Thank you guys.
What a
so much.
load off.
That is
two huge loads off my mind. God does not exist.
The
And the Earth's core, probably cool.
It might be cool. Who knows? I see it as a layered thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be some lava. It might be something else. It might be a whole nother world under there that we don't fucking know about.
There is a planet. I just saw this a few nights ago. There is a planet. It's a giant ice ball.
Is it one of our regular planets, or is this a planet that we've just
No, this is one of those.
found us?
This is one of those. It's way off in the distant galaxy. But this planet, hold on. No, this planet is great. It's an ice planet.
Uh-huh.
It is so cold that it's on fire.
Pluto.
No. No, you know what I'm talking about?
Man, this is bullshit.
Dude, there's
Where's
a
the
planet.
pictures?
It's
Who
literally,
has seen this in a whole different galaxy?
Yeah, it's literally so cold that it's actually on fire because of the chemicals and the cold.
Joe,
that the whole thing, it's a giant fireball in an ice core.
You just told me that we can't even be seen from other extraterrestrials, and Earth doesn't look that appetizing. But you're saying that we can see into a whole nother galaxy, to a whole nother planet, and we don't think that there's other species out there that are as advanced, if not more advanced than us.
Do you remember a minute ago when you didn't know what a volcano was?
No, I do know what a volcano.
Now I'm going to remind you of another thing that you do know about that does explain that. Fucking telescopes. The Hubble telescope is how we see that shit.
So we can see through galaxies, but we can't travel.
Yeah, it's too far away.
All right. And there we have it, folks. This has been another great episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. I have officially been pissed off by you guys and your educational theories, because you guys still believe fucking Jesus walked on fucking water. You guys believe that fucking Pluto isn't a planet. And you guys believe that there's ice planets that are just blown up in the fucking fire gas when I can't even light a fucking ice cube for a fucking cool show for a drink. So there we go.
Imagine being so cold you're a fireball. That's a thing.
All right, Miley Cyrus. I'll leave you alone. No, that was a wrecking ball. I don't know. This whole show's a wrecking ball. Jesus. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. As always, the comments have been amazing, Jared. We're gonna have to come up with like a whole booklet of like all your great quotes. We might even have to put in like the bench, you know, in the description how you have the timestamps.
That should be what it is.
That's what we're gonna have to do. Timestamp like Jared's fucking quotes. But yeah, appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you guys check us out every Monday night. I'm gonna have to change that intro because it says Tuesdays, the old days, or whatever. It might even say Wednesdays. I don't know. But we're Monday nights, 8 p.m. every Monday night. Check me and Joe. Also check us tomorrow night. I will actually be coming back to Divided We Stand tomorrow. I've been on a little hiatus. Work's been kicking my ass. I'm not even gonna lie.
Victoria was watching earlier, and she wants in on this. She wants in on the setup.
Ooh,
in the CMG studio.
Let's do it.
We'll see.
So yeah. But make sure you guys check us out tomorrow on Divided We Stand. And then check out every other podcast on clovercrestmedia.com. We're popping. We're it. It is what it is. Each week, here we go. Each week, I'll Pitch You Off Shortly gets better and better. Keep up the great work, Rob and Joe. Please get some White Claws and a fly swatter for the next episode. Have a good night.
You know what's
my
insane?
guy's sketchy. That's hilarious.
There was 2 flies. I don't know if they mated and had a baby, but now
but
there's a
3.
fucking
that was
third
quick.
fly.
Quick as shit.
I've never seen that before.
But so yeah, fly swatters and White Claws. You guys make sure you guys tag White Claw, tag your best friends, tag somebody else, tag somebody you hate, tag somebody you pissed off recently. Let them know that I'll Piss You Off Shortly on the airs. Make sure you guys be safe, have a good night, and all that good jazz. I'm Rob Benjamin. That's Joe Aguirre. Peace.
The Closing Time Podcast is back, sponsored by Rocky Hill Accountants. I'm Joe Aguirre. I'll have a brand new co-host, Sanam Salati, who's my broker, my mentor, and my good friend, and one of the most knowledgeable people in Connecticut in the entire real estate industry. We're going to be talking about the latest goings on. We'll keep you up to date on the market, and we're going to bring on some really great guests all throughout this season. People in all different fields in the industry, like accountants, home inspectors, mortgage reps, and so much more, just to give you a better understanding of the Connecticut real estate market. We're so excited for a brand new season of the Closing Time Podcast, part of the CMG Podcast Network. It's sponsored by Rocky Hill Accountants. Go see Heidi and Glenn Parchman to file your taxes for bookkeeping, business advice, real estate investments, or whatever your accounting needs are, including cryptocurrency. Just visit RockyHillAccountants.com. We'll see you all season long on the Closing Time Podcast.